Rusty Bethel Drive. I'm Paisol Forbes. This is ZNS.
It's What's Trending with Jiminita Swain and the Bahama Beauty at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas from Studio A. It all starts right now.
Welcome to What's Trending, your one-stop shop for the hottest buzz, the juiciest tea, and the vibes that keep our islands talking. I'm Jiminita Swain.
Wait. Stop.
What? Who let you in here? This is my show.
Your show, your name on the show, huh? What's Trending 2001 and you out here?
What?
Yes, I've been given strict orders to vacate you off the premises. Now put your hands in these handcuffs now.
No.
Yes.
No. These ain't even real handcuffs.
Yeah, because I'm in the budget. Stand here and don't say a word. You have a right to remain silent. A right to remain silent till I lock you up. Nah, this is my show now. Yesterday was so interesting. You know what I mean?
Ain't even introduce yourself to the people.
Off the stage. Off, man, off. That's being nice to you? Come on, man. Jeez. All right. Yesterday's show was so jam-packed with things. We had to run it back. See who won our back-to-school giveaway and hear from one of our sponsors. Also, flowers, shades, and maybe a little side-eye. We're talking to one of our favorite Bahamian influencers who keep our timelines lit. And I ain't tell you what we're celebrating this weekend. We're turning up with a special guest who knows how to make rake and scrape extra jiggy. Now, grab a pick of sausage, because trending, starting, now.
Tired of looking at the same old kitchen? Step 1. Our talented recommended designer, Mark, crafts a custom design just for you. Step 2. Once your design is ready, CBS Bahamas makes ordering effortless. Your dream kitchen is within reach. Step 3. Our recommended installers bring your vision to life, ensuring every detail is perfectly in place. Sit back and relax as your dream space becomes a reality. Visit cbsbahamas.com and start bringing your home improvement dreams to life today.
Honey barbecue, sweet and spicy on new. Signature, what's your flavor?
Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken. Those pepper wings.
Now available at Popeyes in Nassau.
Get this straight to our new sales and marketing office, Centerville House, 5th floor, ASAP.
New sales and marketing office, Centerville House, 5th floor, quick.
New sales and marketing office in Centerville House, 2nd Terrace West, 5th floor, on my way.
Sales and Marketing Office, Centerville House, 2nd Terrace West, 5th floor.
You could have caught a ride with me. We're only a block away from ZNS.
ZNS Sales and Marketing has moved to the 5th floor, Centerville House, 2nd Terrace West. For more information, call 502-3800.
back in session, but today it's all about the fun part, giving. Our back to school giveaway brought in entries from students all across the Bahamas, and we're so excited to celebrate Italia Pratt, our lucky kindergartner from TG Glover Preschool. She's about to receive some awesome tools to start her school year off with a big smile, and she's joined today by her proud father, Ezekiel Pratt. And helping to make this special moment even sweeter is Stacy Mackey, marketing manager at BTC, one of our incredible sponsors. Stacy helped to make this a little bit more magical today. So welcome to the show, Italia, Ezekiel, and Stacy.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
It's so great to have you here with us. Congratulations, Italia. And I guess I'm going to have to direct my question to you, Ezekiel. Tell us, how does it feel, or how did it feel when you heard that Italia was one of our lucky winners?
Oh, we were so excited. I said, Italia, you won. And Italia was like, I win? What did I win? I win? You know, it was very good.
Nice. So what do you think her favorite snack is at school?
She loves bananas.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice. Keep her strong.
Yes.
And so what school does she attend? What grade is she in?
She's in K4. She goes to TG Glover Preschool.
Okay, so that sounds good. So, Stacy, we're going to bring you into the conversation. Can you tell us why BTC decided to partner with us for this back-to-school giveaway?
Well, I think we've enjoyed a great relationship with ZNS, and when we got the call to ask if we wanted to participate, we gladly said yes, because we thought it was a great initiative, giving back to the students of our country, as well as encouraging them to do well for the semester.
Well, definitely.
Nice.
That's good.
What's one thing that surprised you the most being a part of this giveaway, Stacy?
I think the number of entries. I think the excitement of persons to win the swag bag. I think that was it, as well as all of the goodies that came with it.
But what would be your message to other students this school year about why they should stay focused and committed to what they're doing?
You know, we talk so much about the grades and the results and all of that, but it is a lot of pressure on the kids to do well in school. And so any encouragement that we can provide as a company, we gladly did that.
Talk to us a little bit about the prizes that BTC provided and that Italia is going to be one of the recipients of.
So Italia, in addition to getting a brand new device, she will be getting a prepaid combo plan that gives her minutes as well as data. She will also get a memory card that she can put inside of the device. So of course, you know, kids like to take photos, so she can definitely store all of her photos, and she will be getting some movie tickets that you and dad and mom can go to Fusion and enjoy the movie of your choice.
Well, big congratulations again to you, Italia, Ezekiel. Thanks so much to you, Stacy at BTC. We couldn't do it without you and all of the wonderful entries. But now the fun part. You're walking away with a brand new cell phone, as you mentioned, from BTC, a BTC swag bag packed with goodies, a fully loaded backpack from Carrie's Fabric and Uniform Store, and a snack pack from the Broadcasting Corporation to keep you fueled, focused, and fabulous all year long.
If you would like to be a part of What's Trending, DM us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS.
Well, back to school season is in full swing, and today we're celebrating another lucky winner of our back to school giveaway. Say hello to Milan Esperance, a smart and confident 6th grader who's about to kick off his school year with some amazing new tools and supplies, and he's joined by his mother, Cleotha Colley. She's in studio, and helping us to make this special moment possible is Stacy Mackey, marketing manager at BTC, who is back with us to continue spreading the smiles and giving back to our students. Now, we can't wait to hear all about Milan's excitement and see which items he's most thrilled about. So welcome to What's Trending, Milan. Well, thank you so much for being here. But first and foremost, congratulations to you. How does it feel to be one of our lucky back-to-school winners?
Well, I felt happy and excited when my mother told me that I won.
Nice, nice. Another school has already started. Who's been the most fun to hang out with so far, Milan?
My wonderful friends and teachers.
Okay, now, which school do you go to?
I attend Gerald Cash Primary.
All right, that sounds good. And what subjects are you most excited about this school year?
Well, my favorite subject is science because I like to learn about different creatures and animals all around the world.
Okay.
Nice.
Sounds good.
Milan, if you could have one superpower for school, what would that be?
Super knowledge.
Nice.
That sounds good. So are there any exciting new, so I'm going to switch now to Stacy. Are there any exciting new promotions or programs that BTC is doing that viewers should know about?
Well, I want to say that for all of our prepaid customers, because what Milan is going to get in his device is going to be a brand new prepaid combo plan that he's able to have data as well as minutes. So do you use the phone a lot?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. You could be talking for hours. So, of course, that's a great thing. And, you know, we've done some upgrades to our prepaid network, and so you'll notice that there is a lot of differences as it relates to how you download, talk, and all of that. You'll notice that everything is so much better now. So Milan is going to be among the first to actually be experiencing our new prepaid combo plan as it relates to you know, the usage as well as everything else, connectivity. And, you know, for us at BTC, I think it's important that we give back. As Mr. Pratt would have mentioned earlier, he is a BTC customer. He's a business customer as well as a personal customer, and we love that. We love to engage our customers, and we didn't know he was going to win. Let me just throw that out there, but it's great to see that he did win. And I do not want this device, this smartphone, to be a distraction. I want you to continue to do well in school, okay? Now, you can use it for your projects. You like science, so you get data. You don't have to bother mommy, but no hotspot. You got your own data. You got your own minutes, you know. You could even give somebody a couple of them minutes, right? That's fine. But we are so happy that you would have won, and again, we just want you to do very well in school.
All right, and Milan, for you, what's one thing you hope to achieve this school year?
Making the vice principal list.
Oh, well, that sounds good. Congratulations again, Milan. We're so proud of you. And we know the school year is going to be amazing for you. And guess what? The surprises don't stop there. You're taking home a brand new BTC swag bag, the cell phone, of course, overflowing with goodies, a backpack from Carrie's Uniform and Fabric Store, packed with everything a student could need. A snack pack from the Broadcasting Corporation to keep you energized and ready to tackle the school year like a superstar.
And there you have it, folks. Backpack, smiles, and two very happy students. Keep shining, Milan and Natalia. And for everyone watching, remember that giving back is always in style. Don't go nowhere. There's more What's Trending coming your way after this break.
That's what I'm talking about.
Diet-friendly special.
You're probably wondering what I'm doing here sitting in our amazing studio. Well, I'm preparing for my new show coming this fall. In Depth with Mukesh Lapinder is a Sunday magazine style show with timely investigations and deep explorations into the country's ills and triumphs. So join me on Sundays at 10 a.m. this fall for long-form and engaging conversations. And remember, only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
She's the reason why the fire department stays on call. Her timeline stays lit with a 5-part series that had social media on edge. Dejanelle Ferguson turned a spontaneous, funny video into viral gold. Now with over 25,000 followers on TikTok and over 16,000 on Facebook. She's bold, hilarious, and unfiltered. Welcome to What's Trending.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So I got some questions for you today. Today, saying, what made you get into storytime telling content?
Well, honestly, one day I just was really bored and I was having a conversation with my friend about a certain situation that happened. I opened TikTok, saw a lady, you know, doing a story time, and it went all over the place. She got countless opportunities from it. So I was like, let me try this out. Pulled out my phone, started recording right where I was, and that just took off from there.
What's the most important lesson, you know, you've learned since being on social media and going viral?
The most important lesson I've learned is maybe staying true to myself and my voice, because, you know, social media can be very positive and very negative at the same time, and if you're not into it, you wouldn't realize the countless opportunities and connections that you can gain from it. But also with that comes negativity and a lot of criticism. So I had to learn to, you know, not feed into every negative thing, and not everything deserves my energy. So, you know, this is my world. I'm the sun, everything revolving around me when it comes to my content and what I put out there. So.
Okay, all right. Well, pushing out story time consistently is very demanding. How do you maintain your engagement and audience interest when you're not doing story time?
Okay, so I always tell people the only thing I love more than a good joke is my belly. So I always enjoy going out, you know, trying new places, new restaurants. So I started to use that to fill in the gaps, you know, do a little, come with me to this place to try out this, or I started doing get ready with me's as well, trying on outfits, different stuff like that. So that's what I use to fill in the gaps. I always say, I'm only so old, my story's gonna run out. So that's what it is.
Okay, all right. But what advice would you have for people that want to get into story time but have a hard time being as vulnerable as you are?
Okay, so I always use the quote, vulnerability is a skill, not a requirement. And to be different or to be authentic, you don't have to overshare. And as the creator, you decide what you give to the world and how much of it that you give. And also, being the person behind the camera, you have the advantage of visualizing or interpreting that what you put out, how people are going to respond or interpret that. So if you think that the feedback that you're gonna get from it won't be something that you can handle, just don't do it. Because the moment you click share on a video, it only takes one view or one share for that to, the whole narrative to change. So just, you know, be careful. And if it's something that you really wanna do, and you can utilize the tools that certain apps give you, you know, turn off your comments, stop people from being able to download your videos, like just do certain things like that, and you'll be fine.
Okay. Well, now you're not just popular on TikTok, but you also have a following on Facebook. You get real entertaining over there, like real entertained, you know? But how you always know so much about people, and where you get your comebacks from?
Okay, well, first of all, I have a notebook. I'm writing down your name, everything I see, you know, what I see about you, but also I have a secret FBI team, so, you know, I just need a name and a number, and they getting that information back to me pronto.
Now, Dejanelle, we want to know if you could take what you could dish out.
Let's find out.
Welcome to the hot seat, and our first guest, Dejanelle. Now, Dejanelle, we can keep this little light and witty and fun. I don't need you reaching in no file cabinet and case. This is just fun, okay? The objective is to roast me, not toast me. See what I'm saying? You ready?
I'm ready. You ready? You ready?
Now, first question. Why are eyelashes so long?
That's what you can start with?
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. Do you own an iron or a sewing machine?
Hold on.
Because I really want to know, why would you come here with this shirt so mashed up? And how this pants too big, but it gunning at the same time? And then you shop at Carter's A, don't lie. Because this hat, this have to be a 2T.
Hold on. No. You don't.
Find a 5T next time.
No. You don't insult me on my show. You crazy? Put your hands in these handcuffs.
You forget, I tell you. It's the sun, this revolve around me.
Put these on. Come here, girl. Thank you.
Sorry.
You lock up.
But you on a budget?
Yeah, it ain't in the budget.
Okay.
Sorry. Now roll this bumper.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. Your life just took a dark turn. I regret to inform you that I have devised the meal of misfortune with Wendy's. It's pure torture for your taste buds, with 4 nightmarish dips of dread. Don't waste my time asking which ones you'll get. You must surrender to your fate. Enjoy the anguish.
Your home is your sanctuary. The last thing you need to worry about is rodents. Once they enter your property, they can be tough to get out. If you're concerned about rodents, call Rent-A-Kill Initial. We offer the latest, most effective treatment for safe, fast, and long-lasting results. From prevention to elimination, our integrated approach guarantees protection. For rodent control you can trust, there's only one name in the Bahamas: Rent-A-Kill Initial.
Ladies and gentlemen, youngins and OGs, he's not just making music, he's making waves. One hand on the washboard and the other hand on the aux cord. Bahamian Trey is remixing tradition with modern vibes. Rake and scrape, never sounded so fresh. Welcome to What's Trending, Trey. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Sach.
All right, cool. Now, I got some questions for you, young man.
Ready.
Your music connects with young both TikTok scrollers and OGs. What's your secret on hitting both sides of the general fence?
I think, long story short, just connecting with both generations in person and in real life. When you see the way how each person consumes the music, you realize, okay, this is what they like, this is what they like. But to be honest, I didn't have that in plan when I first dropped my first song. So I could just say that I'm thankful that through time and experience and trial and error, you get to see what people like, you get to see what people don't like.
Okay, all right. So when did you first fall in love with Rake and Scrape?
From my born, man. From my born, when I come out, I scream and shout. I got fire and brimstone running out of my mouth all day.
Yeah, okay, all right. Some artists sample old school beats. You've revived a whole lot of cultural heartbeat. How do you balance honoring tradition with pushing boundaries?
Knowledge of self. Basically, when you get to really understand and know Bahamian history and the Bahamian discography and so many great Bahamians that have accomplished great things in the music industry, you have no choice but to be confident and to push that culture.
Okay. Was there ever a moment where someone said, Trey, what you doing in Rake and Scrape? How did that make you feel and what did you say?
Well, shoot, Sarge, I get locked up if I call names. I ain't call no names. But yes, it definitely has happened. It made me feel bad, but then I guess what makes me also feel good, again, goes back to the history. You would know that you have artists like Smokey 007 who not just did Rake and Scrape, but they did reggae, they did all sorts of different things. And I get time to speak to certain artists from here and there. And one of the very most recent conversations that I had with a very popular OG in the game told me, you know what, I always wanted to do reggae. And he's an artist that you would have never expected to be doing reggae. So I'm glad that I'm taking the risk of making things happen in my music.
Okay, so what's one weird sound you secretly tried to sample into a beat? I won't judge unless it was a goat.
Weird sound. I tried birds. Birds. Like, obviously, you notice you never heard that, so you know how that one gone, Sach. You know how that one gone. I can't speak too hard on that, but you see how that one gone.
Okay. So what's next for Bahamian Trey?
Well, my album is, the vocals and everything for my album is sent in, so what's very up next is that you will definitely be hearing a date from me soon for that album, and also I have some acting that I do as well, you know what I mean? And on September 27th, I'm gonna be at the Atlanta Theater performing at the stage play Heart of the Ghetto. So yeah, between acting and music, plenty things coming, but you could keep up with me on social media to see really what's right on the tee.
Nice, man. Well, it was a pleasure bringing you, bringing the culture to the club and, and the vibes and respecting the roots of others. It was a big pleasure bringing you, but, we got to get to the real fun now. The real fun. We went here, we get to the real fun. See,
that's right. Are you ready?
Yeah. The pressure is tall. The pressure is about to be tall. Grab your cowbells and get ready for a real breakdown, because Bahamian Tree is about to perform one of its best tones, pressure.
What's Trending is turning 1, and we want to hear from you, our amazing viewers. In a short phrase, tell us what you love about What's Trending. Just grab your phone, turn it sideways, and record a quick 15-second video. Then WhatsApp your clip to 422-6827 for a chance to be featured on the show. Let's celebrate 1 year of trending moments together. And guess what? Our friends at Commonwealth Brewery heard we're turning 1 and they're joining the party. A lucky winner will receive a gift basket of goodies from 700 Wines and Spirits just for sending in a video. So get filming, get festive, and let's keep What's Trending trending. We can't wait to hear from you.
Hurry! The promotion ends September 30th.
Bahamian Drake. What's trending? What's trending? What's trending? Good. Listen, one thing about you, little miss, you got the tight, and the thing feels so righteous. Hey, you get bad and you like it. For the big. Some in the night and some in the morning. Say she in college, looking for knowledge. She from here, but a friend from foreign. She back up on me like storage. She bounce and she roll it. Say, pressure, pressure, hey, pressure, hey, pressure. Good. Next thing about you, little miss, only you wear the best outfit. So pretty girl, show it off. Pretty girl, must show it off. Make it clap like round of applause. In the air, then back on the floor. Girl call me when she, hey, bring that chill at the bounce on me. Well, mother sick, that's so big. Feels so nice and it feels so sweet. Come bring it out, come bring it out, come bring it out, girl, come bring it out, come bring it out, come bring it out, come bring it out, girl, come bring it out. Say pressure, 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 hey, pressure, 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 hey, pressure, 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 pressure. Now we say, girl, call me when she, feels so chill at the bounce on me. Say, feel mother sick, that's a big. Feels so nice and it feels so. Hey, come bring it out, come bring it out, come bring it out, yeah, come bring it out. Hey, pressure, 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 hey, pressure, 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 hey, pressure, 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 good, pressure, pressure, what we say? Pressure, pressure, pressure. One thing about you, little miss, you got the tight, and the thing feels so righteous. You get mad and you like it. Fed up for the big, hey, some in the night and some in the morning. Say she in college, looking for knowledge. She from here, but a friend from foreign. She back up on me like storage. She bounce and she roll it. Hey, pressure, 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 hey, pressure, 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 go, pressure, 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 hey, pressure, 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 pressure. This was trending, Sarge.
When the pressure, press your hands in these handcuffs. Let's go.
No, man, Sarge.
Put your hands in these handcuffs, boy. Boy, put your hands in these handcuffs, boy.
This man, no man, Sarge.
Just up.
That's what I'm talking about.
Diet-friendly special.
My foolish pride aside in acknowledgement of your goodness. Everything is the Lord's in the earth in its fullness.
It's MADIO Mario, and I'm inviting you to tune into Entertainment Fridays on the Bahamas tonight. Access now at 7:30 p.m. You miss it, you diss it.
To fall, but was caught before I fell. Was so hard-headed, too stubborn, I asked for help.
That's the Bahamas tonight. Access now, weekdays, 7:30 p.m. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
On a Wednesday show, we're sketching with a live character artist who's been capturing faces and personalities for more than 20 years. Don't miss this special anniversary episode. And that's the wrap for What's Trending. Follow us on Instagram at What's Trending for ZNS show clips and behind-the-scenes moments. See you tomorrow at 6 p.m. for more lifestyle entertainment and much more. I ain't gonna be up because I'm getting back to my real job. See what I'm saying? Hold on. This one escape. Find an escape for the day. Jimmy, Jason.
That's what I'm talking about.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition has a look at stories making news tonight. Today marks 4 years in office for the PLP. Party chairman highlights progress made on Grand Bahama. In recognition of World Lymphoma Day, a survivor shares his story of triumph. And an aircraft goes down shortly after takeoff in West End. We have the details.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, 4 years ago today, the Progressive Liberal Party, PLP, was elected to office by a wide margin, securing 32 of the 39 seats in the House of Assembly. Upon taking office, the administration unveiled its blueprint for change, which included a strong commitment to the economic recovery and revitalization of Grand Bahama. Today, the chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party provided an update on the progress made on the Northern Island since assuming office, highlighting key developments and ongoing efforts aimed at restoring Grand Bahama's economic stability and improving the quality of life for its residents. Here's tonight's top story.
We said we would try and bring Grand Bahama back, and I think we have.
One of the cornerstone promises of the Progressive Liberal Party's blueprint for change was the recovery and revitalization of Grand Bahama, an island severely impacted by natural disasters and prolonged economic stagnation over the past 2 decades. 4 years after the party's landslide election victory, PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell is highlighting the economic resurgence and progress made on Grand Bahama since the Davis Cooper administration took office.
The economy is growing. That's the difference between 2021 and where we are today. And the only entity in the country that you can credit with that is the Progressive Liberal Party.
Minister Mitchell points to major projects like the Grand Bahama Shipyard redevelopment fostering direct employment opportunities, Freeport Health Campus Phases 1A and 1B set for completion by early 2026, the sale of the Grand Lucayan Hotel and Carnival Celebration Key, which he notes is creating new challenges in the job market.
I've been receiving calls from employers in Freeport who say, as a result of the Carnival project, all of the labor has been sopped up largely in Grand Bahama, and they are looking to bring in people from the outside to work. This, of course, is something that we resist because we believe that Bahamians have to have the first bite at the cherry for any job opportunities. But the fact is, it's created a vacuum in terms of labor demands in Grand Bahama. So that's a good thing.
Looking ahead, the PLP chairman says he sees only good things on the horizon for Grand Bahama and is urging residents to get ready as the government continues to work on fully restoring the island.
Grand Bahama will have to accommodate 2028, 6 million tourists coming into Freeport and Grand Bahama. So people need to be getting ready with their investments. Restaurants, for example, will be a big business. Taxis will be a big business, transportation. The souvenir business is going to be a big business. All of this is growth, which is spurred by the actions of the Progressive Liberal Party.
Meanwhile, a high-stakes legal showdown is now underway in Nassau with major implications for the future of Grand Bahama. The government of the Bahamas and the Grand Bahama Port Authority are locked in a $357 million arbitration battle over financial obligations tied to the Hawksbill Creek Agreement. As the hearings unfold behind closed doors, we questioned the PLP chairman about the expected outcome for the city of Freeport and what lies ahead. While declining to comment on specific details, Minister Mitchell doubled down on the government's position.
It's not for me to speculate what the arbitrators will decide. In fact, we were briefed as a cabinet to try and avoid any sort of commentary on it, except the fact that it exists. And, you know, it's supposed to be an in-camera exercise. So I'd rather avoid speculating as to what the conclusion will be. Suffice it to say that the government's position is that it is advanced, that money is owed, and that's the issue before us. And we have every expectation that that is the correct position, but we shall know shortly.
Switching gears now, police need your help in finding 56-year-old Miguel Campoy. His last known address is Marsh Harbor, Abaco. Campoy is a Caucasian and medium build who was last seen on Saturday, September 6, 2025. However, he was reported missing on Friday, September 12, 2025 in New Providence. If you spot him, please contact the Criminal Investigation Department at 502-9975 or 502-9991 or 2. Police emergency at 919 or Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. That is 328-8477. Family Islanders can call 242-300-8477. Also from police, 2 passengers lucky to be alive following a plane crash on the runway at West End Airport shortly after takeoff on Monday. Reports indicate that sometime around 2:30 p.m., once officers arrived, they observed a white and blue trimmed 1941 Duckles DC-3 aircraft located approximately 50 feet into the surrounding bushes off the tarmac. Preliminary information indicates that the aircraft had recently arrived from Fort Lauderdale with the intention of transporting freight back to the United States. During the attempted departure, the aircraft lifted briefly off the ground before descending and subsequently sliding off the left side of the runway into the nearby vegetation on the northern perimeter. The aircraft sustained damage, but the only 2 passengers, both pilots, were checked on scene by medical personnel and reported no injuries. The investigation continues by relevant authorities. Well, yesterday was World Lymphoma Day, or Lymphoma Day, a time set aside to observe the dreaded disease. Lymphoma is becoming an increasingly common form of cancer that affects the lymphatic system. Tonight, we speak with a familiar face who returns to share the story of his triumph from bump to battle. Sherelle Dames, our newest reporter, has more in this report.
And that was the sound of victory for Dominic Russell. Dominic Russell, also known as the Pastry Boy, says his journey started when he noticed a small bump under his arm. Initially, he was not overly concerned, but as it became more pronounced, he could no longer deny that something wasn't right.
I went to Dr. Roll, and Dr. Roll did an examination and sent me immediately to Sunrise to get a scan, and there it was, and the journey began.
And along with the mental battle came months of uncertainty, treatment, and pain. His frail 90-pound body filled with nearly 14 bags per day of chemotherapy treatment. Dominic felt his life and his faith slipping away.
I would have did 57 bags of chemo. Not an average person can do that. And in the space of 4 days, I was doing up to 14 bags just for me to survive. I can remember one time the doctor was saying, while they thought I was asleep, I just hope that this works.
Now armed with the scars and experiences of his health struggles, Dominic is using his voice to encourage others to listen to their body and not to ignore the signs.
It was like my mouth was scald, like it was like I had like wounds in my mouth, which was a side effect from one of the cancer that I had, from one of the treatments that I had. I sit down there in the bed for 2 days and I was like, if God is real, why he's allowing this to happen to me? I was like, I'm praying to you, and you just letting me sit here in this pain. I still say my prayer. I laid there, and I woke up maybe an hour or two later, and I kid you not, the sores was gone out of my mouth. And for me to have that experience with something just as small as that, to witness something like that, changed my entire faith when it comes to praying to God.
Today, Dominic can finally say that this particular chapter is coming to a close. And in honor of World Lymphoma Awareness Day, he felt it most fitting to share his story with the Bahamas.
It's okay to go to a doctor for a cough. It's okay to go to a doctor if you feel a bump and it feels funny, because it actually can be something.
It's been 2 years since Dominic rang the victory bell, yet he says his journey is far from over. If you would like to learn more about his story, you can connect with him on social media at The Pastry Boy. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Sherelle Dames.
And still to come.
Recipients of Bahamas Professional Services 40 Under 40 share excitement over the national recognition. That story, sports, and more when we come back.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Save more drugs, from cosmetics to prosthetics. What you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, vitamins you need, and prescriptions you came for. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
The Snack Place has the best variety at the best prices, from chips, cookies, and candies to $2 snack bags packed with goodies. Find them in the Sunset Commercial Plaza next to the bicycle shop in Carvel Beach. They're open from Monday through Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m.
Strength isn't claimed, it's built. At Heroic Concrete, every block is made with purpose. Crafted to protect, poured to endure. From ready mix to premium 8-inch blocks, we supply the strength our nation needs. Proudly made in Grand Bahama, built for hurricanes, built for legacy. Creating products to bring value to our lives and strength to our future. Call 820-4376 or email sales@heroicgrouplimited.com.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. It's that time of year again where Professional Services Bahamas hosts its annual 40 Under 40 Awards ceremony. The event will take place in the nation's capital at Baha Mar on September 20th. We recently met up with 4 of the nominees selected out of Grand Bahama who expressed what an honor it is to be recognized not just for their professionalism, but the way they impact their communities. Creana Rolls serves a police sergeant on the Royal Bahamas Police Force, but also juggles life as a youth mentor and entrepreneur. Meanwhile, Erica Monique empowers all ages through her Learn to Swim courses while capturing memories through her foot photography business. Both ladies say they appreciate those who nominated them.
I think as a professional, you have to be able to balance your work life and when you're not at work. So having some extracurricular or some service opportunity where you give back also helps you as a person to feel accomplished, like you've made some contribution to society.
At the end of the day, I'm working in my purpose, because if I leave here knowing that there have been a lot of kids and adults that I've left behind that know how to swim, know how to save their lives if they were to ever end up in a large body of water. And that makes me feel really good inside.
Meanwhile, Nielsen Benambi is recognized for his day-to-day role as the energy transformation lead at the Grand Bahama Power Company. And Simone Stubbs, who is an engineer by trade, is being recognized for juggling her time as a soccer coach through her Elite Goals program, one that has created avenues for players to play collegiately.
We are the backbone of the economy, so not only providing a reliable and clean energy supply for electricity is also an affordable supply of electricity, and I'm just proud and take a lot of pride in being a part of the team that's able to do that.
I would have had about 3 or 4 players already graduate college. I had 3 young men leave to go to college last week. To be able to see women and men leave, come back to be contributors to our society, makes the world a difference for me in my life. And I think that's something that I will forever be proud of.
While amidst the challenges of the day, there is often confusion on where one can turn when times get hard. The organizers of this 53rd Zion United Baptist West Grand Bahama District Conference are focused on reminding the community that though the times are trying, they must press on. Pastor Paul Mulling shares his views under the theme, Trusting God with the Outcome. Organizers are encouraging the community that though the times are trying, they must keep the faith and press on.
The world is turned upside down. We live in an era where Paul says it's perilous time, but also where people call good evil and evil good, and they call darkness light and light darkness. So this is a time when the church, amidst all of this uncertainty, is called upon to trust God.
Sharing more details about the conference, Chairman Pastor Kevin Morris highlighting that there will be a special honor evening for those who have served the convention over the years. While International President of the convention, Reverend Dr. Elvis Burrows, notes that since the inception of the conference in 1977, Zion Baptist Church has increased its presence, with many making a significant impact in the community.
There are many folks who have passed through Zion who are now making inroads in our community, not just in the religious arena, but in other aspects of community building.
We have anointed speakers who will declare the word of God on our evening session. Pastor Freddie Lang Jr., Reverend Trevor Butterfield, and our esteemed president, Reverend Dr. Elvis Burrows.
In other news, the University of the Bahamas' Northern Campus is gearing up to host its 2025 Innovation Summit and Awards. Organizers say this is an event designed to create a dynamic ecosystem where entrepreneurs can grow, connect, and thrive.
The goal of our Innovation Summit and event is to highlight the work of businesses that have gone through our Business Incubator program, as well as our short courses, bring them together as we network and grow the ecosystem of entrepreneurial and innovation in the Bahamas. In addition, we provide them access to financing, as well as access to networking, as well as access to business support services.
Vice President of UB North, Denise Barnes, encouraging the wider public to get involved, noting that the summit is not just for past participants of the university's Business Incubator program, but for everyone with an interest in entrepreneurship.
Of this year's program includes panel discussions on fintech innovation, a startup boot camp, as well as how do we monetize the orange economy in the Bahamas.
This is certainly not anything light, because we're talking about entrepreneurship, we're talking about economic growth, we're talking about recognizing our small business partners who are needed to ensure that this island develops.
Well, the world's largest floating book fair, the Logos Hope Ship, is returning to Grand Bahama. Last here in 2021, the nonprofit ship once again brings thousands of books, cultural exchange, and a mission to share knowledge, help, and hope to all.
We are known as the largest floating book fair. We have over 5,000 book titles on board the ship. So we want to bring good access, good quality literature. We share it's not just a book ship, but you can also participate in our onboard events.
Tickets for the entrance is just $2. The kids under 12 and over 65, they can come inside for free.
The Grand Bahama Island Promotion Board and the Ministry of Tourism, Investment and Aviation say the Logos Hope ship is a welcomed experience to the island.
Well, we're just simply pleased to be a sponsor of the Logos Hope.
This is an opportunity for families and also an opportunity for the community to collaborate and to interact with our special guests.
Now, for more information about the Logos Hope, you can visit their website at logoshope.freeport@gbships.org. And that's a look at stories making news. Jay, what's happening in sports?
Well, Team Bahama still in Tokyo, Japan, hoping to capture medal. Also, softball playoffs begin this weekend at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex.
All right, good stuff. That's coming away next. But first, a check on the local weather forecast.
Weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
At Save More Drugs, we got you. We got what you want. We got what you need. We got what you came for. The quality you expect. The prices you need and deserve. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Do you want to find relief from common health concerns such as headaches, back pain, chronic inflammation, and more? How about improved sleep, boost energy, and improve overall well-being? Check out RA Balance Bahamas and get your body into balance with biomagnetic therapy. For all our social links, contacts, or to request an appointment, visit rabalancebahamas.com.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm self-insuring my investments, starting with this tarp.
We all remember the blue tarps after the storm. Let's make sure that we are covered with more than a tarp. Don't allow your investment to be at risk. Protect your investment with one of our insurance policies.
Nobody does it better.
Doctors Hospitals reimagine primary care. We've invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations in Freeport and 8 Mile Rock, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to sports. It's playoff time in softball at the Grand Bahama Softball Association. The best of 3 series for co-ed, men, and corporate league swings into action this weekend at the Grand Bahama Softball Complex.
This season we had, I think it was about 2 additional new teams that came into the league. One would have been in corporate, one would have been in the regular co-ed season play. 2 corporate actually and 1 co-ed. So the season has been pretty competitive so far. We had a lot of challenges lately with the weather, and then with the Naga track meet where we laid off for almost a month. We decided to go into playoffs this weekend in the regular season with the top 4 teams advancing into the playoffs. We're looking at our first round, best out of 3 championship series, best out of 5.
Next in sports, Printasia Johnson ran the women's 400-meter semifinals at the World Championships for Team Bahamas. Johnson finished the race in 6th place in a time of 50.81 seconds. That was just shy of qualifying for the finals. And last in sports, some notable scores from Week 2 of the NFL season. The Cowboys got their first win of the season, 40-37 against the New York Giants. The Bengals improved to 2-0 after taking down the Jaguars 31-27. San Francisco 49ers edge out the New Orleans Saints 26-21. The Bills dominated the Jets 30-10 to also remain undefeated on the season. The Chiefs dropped to 0-2, losing to the champs, the Philadelphia Eagles 20-17. And the Miami Dolphins
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team.
Remains winless on the season, falling to the New England Patriots 33-27 at home as they prepare for a short week taking on the Buffalo Bills on Thursday night. Ladies and gents, that's your quick check on sports. Your Facebook friend of the day is next. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be...
4 years ago, Grand Bahama stood shattered, battered by Hurricane Dorian and weighed down by the effects of a global pandemic. 4 years ago, the Bahamian people put their trust in the Davis administration, and in just 4 years, that trust has delivered undeniable progress. So let's break it down. Let's talk results, backed by action, fueled by your trust. When hope was at its lowest, we launched beautiful Grand Bahama, creating nearly 350 jobs and restoring communities from east to west. We built Restoration Village, transforming the lives of displaced individuals and giving them a second chance at stability. After decades of desolation, downtown Freeport became alive again with the opening of Solomon's Downtown and the renovation of the historic Wynn Building. We revived the Farmers Market and renewed the Bahamas Arts and Crafts Center. And what was once just a promise is now a reality. Celebration Key Cruise Port is open. Thousands of visitors now arrive every week, reigniting local commerce, creating jobs, and placing Grand Bahama back on a global stage. We closed the deal on the Grand Lucayan, ending years of uncertainty and opening the door to real, sustainable growth. We signed an agreement for an Afro-Caribbean marketplace, set to become a vibrant hub for trade, tourism, cultural exchange, and economic prosperity. And with the Innovate 242 incubator progressing steadily, we're unlocking the future of entrepreneurship and innovation across Grand Bahama Island. Healthcare is expanding with the Freeport Health Campus and Doctors Hospital on track to deliver world-class medical care right here at home. UB North is open, restoring higher education access and reigniting student life on our island. And with Maritime 101, we continue to prepare young minds for the future, shaping Grand Bahama as the home of maritime and logistics. Our reputation as the home of events and entertainment continues to flourish, from the Welcoming Home celebrations to revived festivals, entrepreneurial expos, blood drives, and summer youth employment programs. We are rebuilding not just infrastructure, but spirit. More visitors have flocked to our shores. More investors have sat down at our tables. More eyes are on our island, because the world is finally seeing what we've always known. Grand Bahama is progressing. This is more than recovery. This is transformation. This is the result of vision, leadership, and unwavering belief in Grand Bahama's potential. This is progress. And under this administration, this is only the beginning.
Save more drugs. We got you. From cosmetics to prosthetics, what you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, the prices you need and deserve. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that's going to do it for us here in the North. I'm Ramiko Knowles.
And I'm Jay Philippe.
Thanks so much for watching. Here's a live look at the Bahamas tonight, coming your way next.
This news is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the Bahamas makes a return to a major U.S. drug list. Hear what local officials have to say about it. The governing party touts its achievements as it marks its fourth-year victory at the polls. And 5 years of increased benefits for hundreds of airport workers. Find out the perks of an historic $3.5 million deal. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now. Broadcast. The Bahamas again finding itself in some unwanted company as it is included on the U.S. President's determination on major drug transit or major illicit drug producing countries list for this fiscal year. Corval Pyfrom explains why and what local officials are saying about it. Corval?
Makosla, the list names the Bahamas along with other Caribbean countries like Jamaica, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic among major drug transit or major illicit drug producing countries. Now, the White House is clarifying that inclusion on this list is not necessarily a judgment on a nation's government's enforcement efforts or cooperation with the U.S. in its fight against drug trafficking. Now, this is not the first time the Bahamas is making this list. And for his part, Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, appeared indifferent on the issue when he spoke with our news team this morning.
Well, the United States is one of the major drug-consuming nations. That's all I have to say about that.
Just last week, President Trump's nominee for ambassador to the Bahamas, Herschel Walker, during hearings before the Senate's Foreign Relations Committee, asserted that the absence of a U.S. ambassador to the Bahamas has made the country more vulnerable to drug and human trafficking, vowing at the time to forge closer ties with law enforcement agencies, both in the U.S. and here.
And I feel that that's a most important thing is to make all the law enforcement feel that they're important. I think they've gotten so much negative that now I love to make them know that they're important. They're the reason why. And I can build a championship team if we're all working together. And I can commit to that I can get them to know how important that they will be in the Bahamas and getting things done.
Meanwhile, National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Monroe, has repeatedly pushed back against any linking of the Bahamas to drug trafficking, blaming the rise in the transport of drugs on Colombia.
The reality that's driving the uptick in cocaine trafficking is that the government of Colombia, who used to destroy coca fields, took a policy decision to stop doing that. And so cocaine production has gone up in South America, so therefore the amount of it flowing north would increase. That's a problem not only for us, that's a problem for everyone.
It is worth noting that this announcement of this list comes as President Trump is ramping up his fight on drug trafficking, just recently ordering 2 military strikes on vessels near Venezuela believed to be transporting drugs. The Venezuelan government, though, has refuted claims, calling the U.S.'s actions, which killed more than a dozen people, acts of aggression. Mukushla?
Well, thanks, Corvell. Shifting our attention now to the local political scene. The Davis administration marking a major milestone today after clinching victory in the September 16th, 2021 general elections. The party emerging from that battlefield, having won 32 of the 39 seats in the House of Assembly. Fern Carey tells us more.
The governing Progressive Liberal Party marking its 4th anniversary this Tuesday since being elected to office in a landslide victory back in 2021. Reflecting on the government's progress over the past 4 years, the nation's chief Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, cited a revitalized tourism industry, investments in land to provide affordable homes for Bahamians, and achievements in the labor market with more than 50 labor agreements signed. Prime Minister Davis also highlighted major investments in healthcare and initiatives focused on empowering young people countrywide, among others.
Every young person given the skills and guidance to support productive choices, not tragic ones. More than 500 young Bahamians trained in our country's first National Service Corps, the National Youth Guard. A tourism industry revitalized with new opportunities for Bahamian entrepreneurs. The country's first nationwide apprenticeship program. Major sporting events held here at home, once again, and record support for our athletes. Renovations to 52 clinics, 2 new hospitals, and our investment in labs and diagnostics and emergency vehicles for our family islands, all in motion.
The nation's leader also detailed the measures to strengthen the country's agriculture sector, ongoing energy reforms, and new legal protections for the country's marine resources, including Bahamian artists and artisans. He acknowledged, however, that there is still more work to be done as the PLP looks ahead to general elections next year. Meantime, PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell said tackling the high cost of living continues to top the government's agenda.
The government is trying to tackle that problem. Most latterly, of course, was the issue of reducing VAT on certain items to try and control prices. So we're generally pleased, and we're looking forward to seeking from the Bahamian public a reaffirmation of our term within the next year, because the work is not complete.
Mr. Mitchell also assured that long-term issues like crime and supporting the country's aging population remain a priority.
We have to get a grip on the crime issue, which is, our belief is in social intervention. And the social intervention programs take a while to kick in. So we've started them.
Mr. Mitchell pointed to the PLP's record, noting that the party will continue to do all it can to support and empower Bahamians. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Well, the governing party may be tooting its horn, but what's the word on the streets? Well, in this next report, our Danielle Dean canvassed the views of everyday Bahamians.
4 years since the PLP won in a landslide victory, capturing 32 of 39 seats. Voters are sharing their views on the party's impact to date. Executive Director of the Organization for Responsible Governance, Matt Aubrey, acknowledges ways the government has helped the country to move in a positive direction.
As we look at, say, the 4th year of this government, we've observed some positive economic developments, particularly in the post-COVID recovery period. We saw signs of some fiscal consolidation and the initial reductions on the national debt, and that's critical. We've also seen some important pieces of legislation that have been put in place.
But he added, ORG is of the opinion that more structures need to be put in place to strengthen the relationship between citizens and government. For example, regularized opportunities for public consultation.
We're coming upon an election. And one of the fundamental challenges we saw in the last election is we saw a drop from those historic, very high numbers of the Bahamas electorate coming out. We went from the last election being in the high 80s down to the mid-60s. And that reflects a lot of things. Post-COVID environment, different process in the registry, a snap election, but it also talks about the fact that there is this growing lack of trust in institutions.
The next general election's just months away. We spoke to some residents who will be heading back to the polls.
That depends on who they send in my area.
Yes, I am. I always vote every election. It's important. The trajectory of the country depends heavily on me. on my contribution.
I must admit, our Prime Minister is trying to do his best.
However, Delano Johnson sees this is one issue yet to be addressed effectively.
Our roads, every time it rains, it's like a Russian roulette riding to the water and stuff like that.
And Vince McDonald credits the government with catering to marginalized communities.
There's nobody has turned to the poor, to the underprivileged, the less fortunate than the PLP and under Brave Davis. Nobody else, no other government I've seen. They have been more conscientious of high cost of food, high cost of gas, high cost of energy.
While some are singing the government's praises, others say there are matters that can be better handled as they prepare for yet another general election countdown. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
As the Davis-led government celebrates its 4th year in office, more than 24 Fox Hill residents will be presented with conveyances, a PLP pledge back in 2021. Our LaDawn Davis is in Fox Hill with more. LaDawn?
Makusla, let me tell you, Fox Hillians are all smiles here at the Fox Hill Community Center, as it's expected that some 29 families are expected to receive clear property titles after fighting for many, many decades. Can you imagine? And I'm joined by one of those recipients of the clear titles this evening, Mr. Warren Davis. Mr. Davis, talk to us a little bit about how are you feeling right now after your family have been fighting for so long?
Well, you know, I'm feeling so excited to see this come to conclusion. You know, I've been looking at this now more than 20 years. I was on this land 58 years, and after I got old, I built my house because the land we saw on is a very big lot, and it's a family plot. So we got together and we built our house. And now, when you look at it, there's no title, there's no conveyance. So you are in limbo, not knowing who will come and say, come off the land. Because when you look in society, there were some incidents where you saw some person's house were broken down and people had to leave their land. So you was in fear. So when this program came up through the Minister Frederick Mitchell, I jumped on board. I let my family know what I was doing, and they was glad, excited to know that what happened today has been a long coming.
And what does this now mean for residents here in the Fox Hill community who are still waiting to get their property?
Well, I think, you know, sitting on the park one day, you know, there's negative talks. And you say, man, Mr. Mitchell can't do that. And, you know, now today you see it's here. You know, tonight we'll be receiving our conveyance saying we own the land. You know, not to say we want to, you know, take away anything from anybody, but just want to be appreciative of Frederick Mitchell, the MP for Fox Hill, for a great job, for this initiative, for even thinking about the people of Fox Hill, because it had to be a concern to come to his desk for him to come and put this together. So we thank him so much.
And thank you, Mr. Davis. A promise fulfilled by the Minister, Mr. Frederick Mitchell. Minister Keith Bell, the Minister of Housing, is also here. And the Prime Minister just got here about 5 minutes ago, and he's going to make that special presentation. But for now, reporting from the Fox Hill Community Center, I'm LaDawn Davis. Back to you in studio, Makushla.
Well, thanks, LaDawn. Coming up, more than 200 airport employees to benefit from a new contract. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. That story and more in a moment.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
The last eclipse of our galaxy. Scientists are gathered here today to witness this extraordinary event. Simply marvelous, extraordinary, unforgettable, one of a kind. Oh man, that's amazing.
You can't ignore the craving that makes everything crunch. The new crispy barbecue bacon sandwich with barbecue sauce, cheddar, bacon, crispy onions, and an extra large chicken fillet. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Hello, bonjour, hola, hello, ciao.
No matter where your passport takes you, BTC roaming keeps you effortlessly connected. Enjoy seamless calls, lightning-fast data, and affordable roaming across the globe. No SIM swaps, no stress. Just one network, working everywhere. So go ahead, explore the world, and still be just a call away from home.
Find your future with certificate courses from the University of the West Indies. Fast and affordable, our courses give you the skills to get hired, promoted, and ahead of the game. Choose project management, supervisory management, law for human resources, business and commercial law, and even technical skills like Canva design, web design, and computer repair and networking. Register now at global.uwi.edu/Bahamas or WhatsApp 456-6687. The University of the West Indies, Global Campus, the Bahamas.
Blessings gonna find me here.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. Your life just took a dark turn. I regret to inform you that I have devised the meal of misfortune with Wendy's. It's pure torture for your taste buds, with 4 nightmarish dips of dread. Don't waste my time asking which ones you'll get. You must surrender to your fate. Enjoy the anguish.
Well, you're looking at a shot of Doris Johnson Senior High on Prince Charles Drive, the school named in honor of the first woman to contest an election and the first female president of the Senate. That shot courtesy of our drone pilot, Kyson Miller. As always, good job, Kyson. Welcome back. A language barrier, still a huge challenge in the public school system, and education officials say the frustrations of not being able to speak English is contributing to the students' behavior in the classroom. Efforts to get to the root cause now being addressed. LaDon Davis is back with us following that story. Good evening, LaDon.
Good evening to you. A bewildered president of the Bahamas Union of Teachers, Belinda Wilson, says she had zero knowledge of a so-called buddy system for Creole-speaking students in public schools, as mentioned by the education director several days ago. Wilson says after conducting a teacher's survey, it was also discovered that teachers were unaware of such a system and that there were some other challenges.
Some of the Creole-speaking siblings and or Creole-speaking friends would try to assist some of the students from time to time, unofficially and voluntarily. It is obvious that the Creole-speaking students, especially at the grade 1 level, did not attend preschool. And even the basic skill of being toilet trained is a challenge. Their lack of ability to speak English contributes to low reading, writing, and comprehension scores. Teachers have also noticed behavioral problems from the Creole-speaking students as well as the Bahamian students.
Education Director Dominique McCartney-Russell clapping back at comments made by the BUT president. She says, according to the Bahamas Education Act, all children between the ages of 5 to 16 are required to be legally enrolled in schools by their parents to ensure students have access to education during their most critical developmental years.
We have over the years as a practice embraced a buddy system that supports students for whom English is a second language. And so this informal practice pairs the ESL student with a classmate or schoolmate who will help them acclimate to the school environment, not just academically, but socially, until the student gains confidence to navigate the campus life.
In light of recent concerns posted by Bahamians on social media regarding the matter, McCartney-Russell says education officials plan to have a dialogue with stakeholders to address the needs of vulnerable learners and strengthen their support system. But in the meantime, the BUT president is requesting that the education director provide a written Creole budding system policy of which she speaks and identify the schools the policy is operating in. Back to you in studio.
Well, thanks, LaDawn. Now to labor news this evening, a landmark day for members of the Airport, Airline and Allied Workers Union. Members employed by Nassau Flight Services receiving some long overdue increments and other employee benefits. Felicity Darville tells us more.
It's the largest contract negotiation to date for the Airport, Airline and Allied Workers Union. Executives led by President Jewel Fountain signed a contract with Nassau Flight Services to the tune of $3.5 million. The agreement, which covers a 5-year period until 2030, is being celebrated by the AAAWU. Vice President Tonique McIntosh tells us why.
This signing of this contract marks as a significant milestone for our members. It reflects our ongoing commitment with management to ensure fairness, stability, as well as progress in the workplace. Our members are very pleased with the benefits offered in this contract. This agreement also delivers, providing security and improved conditions and great opportunities for all.
Chairman of Nassau Flight Services, O.B. Roberts, said negotiation sessions with the AAAWU were very productive. Here are some of the benefits of the new contract.
We have had an increase in meal allowances for our employees, increased travel allowances, also increase in sick days from 12 to 22 days. Increased number of personal emergency days from 2 to 4. More importantly, we have now added an early retirement clause to our agreement that has never existed before.
In addition, the government has approved 4 increments for Nassau Flight Services employees over the life of the contract. Mr. Roberts said this was all completed in what he called a record 4 short months.
A very productive union negotiations that benefit our employees and to our hard-working employees of Nassau Flight Services. So I just wanted to say thank you, and we are very happy that this matter has been concluded, and the staff can continue on performing at a very high level for Nassau Flight Services, being the best in the country.
This contract is particularly significant to the 240 AAAW union members who are impacted by it because it represents their first pay increment in a decade. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
In short order, the union is going to have to take the next step. We're just going to do what we got to do.
The next move is being kept close to his chest, but taxicab union president Tyrone Butler is promising that he and his members are going to apply pressure on the government. And this following failed discussions to bring some resolution to the long-standing issue of livery drivers operating in spaces reserved for taxis at the Lyndon Pending International Airport and even resorts.
We've seen on any number of occasions when I'm at the airport, any number of people pulling up with livery plates and it's like a free-for-all. This is really a sad situation for us.
Now, Butler contends that the government is not acting in good faith, and his union is no longer prepared to sit idly by in hopes of finding a reasonable solution. In a release, the Ministry of Transport noted its commitment to working with the taxicab and livery unions to reach a fair solution. However, it added that while the ministry appreciates the concerns of both unions, it is important to note that livery services have operated at the airport for over 2 decades, and that during that time, the transportation sector's growth has led to a need for adjustments, some of which require legislative action. Further, that any significant long-term improvements will only be fully realized after the airport's upcoming redesign. Meantime, the government making it clear in a statement today that Grand Bahama International Airport's redevelopment remains a top priority, adding that the Ministry of Tourism Investments and Aviation officials are in the final stages of securing funding and completing agreements on airport management, a move paving the way for construction of a modern, world-class facility. The UK's Manchester Airport Group is assisting with the design and management, but not financing the project. The government says a funding partner will be announced soon. Now, the Davis administration insists the goal is clear, and that's to give Grand Bahama the airport it needs to grow, attract investment, and strengthen its role as a gateway to the Bahamas.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Hall Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Honey barbecue, sweet and spicy, all new. What's your flavor?
Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken. Ghost pepper, wings.
Now available at Popeyes in Nassau.
Are you straight?
Bro, I ain't getting no service. I can't make no calls. I can't post nothing on my stories. I don't get it.
Wait, you on the live? Shad, come, let's fix that. Come. This one needs saving. Pour them over, please.
Say less. Sign up today. Enjoy 5 gigs on us with select prepaid plans when you port your number to Alive, or 3 months free Alive fiber services when you port your landline.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
This portion of the news is brought to you by 700 Wines and Spirits, bringing celebration across the nation.
Well, the dynamic duo of Royston and Marlena now join us live for a sneak peek of what's coming up in Access Now.
Well, Makushla, we've got a pretty special surprise coming up tonight. We have a barber in the house.
We absolutely do. A young entrepreneur is going to be showing some of his skills tonight. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, we'll see his sacrifice and see if it's me. Like, I know I've had an interesting week, but I don't know if I'm there yet.
What about do a cut? So maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Place your bets now. Who's going to end up in the chair?
Well, Royston, we're going to try a new style on you, if it is you. So we're hoping to see a deep fade or something of that sort. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight. The National Report continues after this.
Diet-friendly special.
During Little Caesars Carnival of Specialties, you're gonna want to try everything.
Like wearing a Balloon Man costume?
Or turning into a tuba? No! Like trying all the varieties from the Carnival of Specialties at a special price for a limited time, only at Little Caesar.
For just $13 VAT inclusive, get it now at Little Caesars, Oaksfield, Carmichael Road, East Street South, Charles Saunders Highway, and Prince Charles in the One East Plaza.
Pizza.
A new era is dawning in Grand Bahama. An opportunity, it's knocking louder than ever. Introducing Tract B, Bahama Reef Yacht and Country Club, Unit 1. A prime corner commercial property, footsteps from the Port Lakaya Marketplace, crystal clear waters and white sandy beaches. This expansive 4.8-acre tract is zoned for commercial and multi-use development. Envision a thriving restaurant, a boutique hotel, or an entertainment hub unique to your vision come to life. You can live, work, play, and learn in paradise when you seize this rare opportunity today. Collaborate with DEFCO and let's shape the future of Grand Bahama Island together.
And that does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
Get to glow, keeping you in the know, keeping you in the know. God, that's good enough to eat, and it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, that is good to grow.
At Fox Hill Nursery, manager Amanda Myers says the key to protecting our food supply is simple. Grow it yourself.
Better for you, tastes better. It's also fun to do, and it relaxes you. Well, most people, it relaxes them. But yes, definitely fun to do as well.
She says the nursery is working to make that easier for everyday Bahamians by offering a range of tools, plants, and guidance to help beginners get started.
We do things like we start from seeds for vegetables and herbs. We then, in another 2 or 3 weeks, will have actual seedlings that you can plant of the vegetables and of the herbs. We sell pots that you can grow vegetables and herbs in. I've got the soils, all the different soils. You can mix up your homegrown sort of batch of soil. So I have everything you will need right here at Fox Hill Nursery.
And if you're wondering where to begin, Myers recommends starting small with easy crops. Just about anyone can manage.
Easy, green pepper, sweet pepper, easy tomatoes. Tomatoes are pretty easy as well. And you get quite a few of them for your little plant will produce quite a few of them. So those are 2 I would recommend right off the bat.
The best part? Myers says you don't even need a big yard to make it happen.
If you had a porch or patio anywhere in the sun, container gardening. Get some big pots. Put your tomatoes, your green peppers, things like that in pots. Even if you live in an apartment building and you have a little balcony, you can put a couple of pots out on that balcony in the sun and grow vegetables. If you have a big pot and you're growing a nice big tomato plant in or a big green pepper, don't forget around the edges you can grow, say, a mint to hang over, thyme to grow in, a rosemary plant, and you can fill in around the base so you've got several plants in one big planter.
So whether it's a window box, a small patio, or just a few pots in the backyard, Myers says every little bit of homegrown food helps strengthen the Bahamas' food security. Tickets are limited. Get yours today for the Agrarian Awards 2025, Planting with Heart and Soil.
All in the spirit of back to school, the staff and students of Queens College hold a renewal ceremony. Details straight ahead.
And Harding University visits Kingsway Academy. Stay close for that.
Plus, Urban Renewal provides free eye care to the country's children. Great news there.
And the latest update from Tokyo at the World Athletic Championships.
Bahamas Tonight Access Now starts now.
Walt Disney said all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them, and I truly believe that. Good evening, I'm Royston Jones.
And I'm Marlena Leonard. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now.
It's officially World's Barber Day. I didn't even know such a thing existed.
Neither did I, but it most definitely does, and Access Now is going to be celebrating it with a live in-studio haircut. Royston, are you up for it?
What?
Well, it's not going to be me.
You're saying that I'm the one getting the cut today? Well, I'm about due, so we'll see about that. But for right now, let's dive right into the news. Queens College High School hosting its service of renewal and commitment today, where staff doubled down on their vow to create a safe, professional, and top-notch educational environment for students. And students vow on there to make mature decisions and hold themselves to standards of excellence and integrity. Principal Reverend Henry A. Noel says this annual display of camaraderie and commitment helps foster the success the school is known for.
Well, there is no going back for Queens College, and so these are the top of the top. Some of them are homegrown within our school system, and they continue to rise up, and others we brought in. But together we know that we will form a formidable force that cannot be stopped. We will continue moving forward as a school.
4 educators elevated to positions that will allow them to make an even greater impact. Shellen Wint Grant to Deputy Head of High School with the position of Curriculum. Krister McIntosh to Deputy Head of High School with a focus on Administration. Shansia Adderley to Deputy Head of Primary School with a focus on Administration. And Kendra Martin to Human Resource Manager.
I see students as
definitely my purpose, my passion. I love going into the classroom. If you would have been taught by me, you would know that I love to sing. I love to bring about lessons through song. So yes, I definitely have a passion for teaching, and newly found passion is also being able to mentor the next generation of teachers. So I would like to see more persons who are equally as passionate as I am about teaching the next generation.
I'm excited because this is a new environment. This is a new time. Change is good. And as I said, you know, we're just happy to continue to serve in any capacity that we're able to.
Council for Education Affairs Shireen Poitier-Johnson visited Kingsway Academy today alongside representatives from Harding University in the United States. Together, they spoke with 12th graders about opportunities for higher education abroad. Poitier-Johnson says her role is to connect Bahamian students with colleges and universities, helping to create pathways for scholarships and admissions.
Move about ensuring scholarship opportunities for Bahamian students. So earlier this year, I made a trip to Arkansas, where I met with about 8 universities and colleges, and hence today we have Harding University here offering scholarship opportunities to Bahamian students. And one of my things was, when I met with the various colleges, was, while you can't give a scholarship to every child, what other opportunities can you provide? So, of course, what they did was they work out budgets. Like, you have opportunities like $8,500. This school was offering scholarships to $8,000, $9,000 per year. Also, this trip right here, Harding University will be in Eleuthera on Thursday. The 2 schools that they will be visiting is Windermere and Preston Albury High School on Thursday. And then next month, we're looking at going to Eleuthera and Cal Island.
As she said, the initiative is not limited to New Providence, but will extend to students on islands across the country.
But our Bahamian students in most of the schools that I've visited, I want you to know these people are coming to the Bahamas to recruit Bahamian students simply because when they go abroad, they are high achievers. Our Bahamian students represent the Bahamas on a high level.
Fantastic opportunities there. Meanwhile, dozens of children receiving the gift of clearer vision this weekend as Urban Renewal hosts a free eye clinic at Saints Community Center. Co-chairman of Urban Renewal, Diana Francis, says that the initiative is focused on providing health assistance to the families and children who need it most.
This initiative is exclusively to be able to give aid to inner city families and inner city children who are challenged with eye care issues. Of course, it's an initial screening that's taking place. It's a limited amount of eye care that's here available. But the kids who have eye issues are going to be able to get glasses. And of course, this is because of the partnership of individuals, of doctors, eye doctors, of the Nursing Association as relates to eye care, and other international partners.
Optometric physician and partner for the event, Dr. Anita Brown-Dean, says that with an estimated 150 students expected to receive screening, the clinic can help detect vision problems early, allowing children to perform better in school.
Sometimes children in classes, they may be disruptive, and you're thinking that they are just rude or there's something going on, but a lot of times it's just that they can't see. So this gives us an opportunity to be able to screen and ensure that the next generation has a tool for being able to learn.
And the bad guys are at it again. In response to a surge in fraudulent online banking activities in the country, RBC FinCo, among financial institutions, now ramping up its digital patrols and tightening cybersecurity measures. Area Vice President for RBC FinCo, Dwayne Kemp, emphasized that security is not just a feature, it's a cornerstone of the institution's operations.
We have lots of plans and measures in place to prevent phishing fraud with our clients, especially for our online banking. We have a two-process authentication. For that, you would have to put in 2 forms of two passwords to get in, and one would be, so you would have to determine what your 2 passwords are. Now, if you give a fraudster both passwords, these things happen, but we advise our clients, and plus we put a lot of communication regarding being aware of phishing and stuff along those lines. So we communicate with all of our clients on a regular basis, and we have stuff out on social media regarding phishing and being very mindful of those things.
With an uptick in phishing scams and online fraudulent activities compared to last year, scammers are targeting unsuspecting victims through text messages, suspicious links, and even direct phone calls. Once the victim responds, they're directed to a fake website and then prompted to enter their personal banking information, and that's when the real damage begins. Victims are then locked out of their accounts and their money is quickly transferred and stolen.
If you receive a communication that you're not sure about, do not click on any links. Don't do anything unless you confirm with us. And we've had clients call and say, well, hey, I received this communication from the bank. What's happening? Are you aware of this? And we would go ahead and validate and confirm it. Yeah, so I would say if you receive something that you're not sure about, reach out to your nearest bank and get confirmation that it's legit.
Well, still to come, Barber Derek Young is live in studio with us today on World Barber Day. And yes, he has his clippers for some lucky person. Also, on the other side of the break is our Basil Dean with the weather forecast. So, stay close.
Come and visit us at Shop Smart, 'cause everything is here.
Yes, we have it all for you. Toys, clothing, office supplies, appliances, custom cut blinds, bedding, drapes, and rugs. Come and visit us on Mackey Street, 2 blocks down from Wolf Road. Call us at 698-1052.
Shop Smart, and Shop Smart, and Shop Smart. Oh, everything is here.
Bang ding. Bing bang ding. Ding ding dong. Bang bang bang. Ding bang ding. Bing bang ding. Ding ding dong. Bang bang bang. Ding bang ding. Bing bang ding. Bing bang ding. Ding ding dong.
Bahamas' biggest night this November 1st. Join Alliance Promotions, YBE Promotions, Bahamas Ministry of Tourism, and Bahamas Air as they present the Fall in Love 90s R&B Concert Series at the National Stadium Ground, performing for the first time. Tyrese comes to Bahamas to deliver an unforgettable performance. Also performing R&B sensation Uncle Sam. Get ready for Deborah Cox. The Fall in Love 90s R&B Concert Series, Saturday, November 1st at the National Stadium Ground. Nassau. Tyrese, Uncle Sam, and Deborah Cox. Advance tickets are available now at all Cash and Go locations. Or log on to cashandgobahamas.com to enroll. Call 242-427-8111 or call 242-357-0116. Be there.
It's time for your Access Weather Forecast, and the tropics is beginning to heat up. We have two systems out there we're looking at, two tropical waves. The first one pretty much in the advanced stage, and the Hurricane Center is giving that a 90% chance of development, meaning by tomorrow, at least within the next 48 hours, we could have perhaps a tropical depression, even a tropical storm on our hands in the far eastern Atlantic. And just behind that, another tropical wave just off the African coast. That one has a low chance of development, 20% over the short term. So we'll keep eyes on those two systems, and we'll keep you posted of their development. And our live weather radar is showing some pockets of showers redeveloping over the northwest and central islands, and that is in response to a troughing that's over the area. So we will see an increase in clouds and shower activity over the next couple of days. Boating forecasts tonight through Thursday in the northwest and central islands. Once again, those light and variable winds stay in place with those flat seas 1 to 3 feet over the ocean. Tide-wise, going to be low at 11:01 tonight. Another low tide at 11:01 tomorrow morning. And for the southeast bombers through Thursday, winds out of the east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Now, that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures. And they're brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
2 years ago, I met the perfect man. That's what he was to me. Tall, dark, and handsome, always well dressed. His kiss drove me crazy. Then I noticed that he didn't work. He did nothing around the house. Lie around all day. He was so.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But join me at 11 o'clock for a full weather update. Malina.
Thanks so much, Basil. As said earlier, today is World Barber Day, an annual event celebrated on September 16th to honor barbers' skills, community spirit, and contributions to society.
Yes, this day was established in 2017 by Irish brothers Hugh and Connor McAllister. The day is also promoting a philanthropic mission with many barbershops raising money for charitable causes.
Tonight, we welcome Derek Young, proprietor of DSY Cuts.
Derek, welcome to Access Now.
Welcome again.
Nice to meet you. I'm happy to be here.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? How long have you been a barber?
I've been a barber from, I would say, 2020 professionally, but I've been cutting hair since 8th grade. I've always loved barbering, so I'm just happy to actually be, you know,
living the dream.
Living the dream, exactly.
Amazing.
What inspired this start at such a young age, then?
So I fell in love with cosmetology on the whole.
Okay.
So everything to do with hair, I absolutely fell in love with it. So I attended Aquinas College at the time, and I guess shout out Dr. Clark. So she inspired and she started the spark in me, and I just fell in love with knowing the ins and outs of it, and also improving the look of each individual that comes into my chair.
Speaking of the look of each individual, we're going to get to see some of your live skills tonight, right?
Definitely.
Who is your model?
So today, we have a model here. I'm so happy that you give me a name. I never got his name, actually.
Christian Jerwoods.
Christian, welcome to Access Now as well.
I'm happy to have Christian here.
Amazing.
You're in the hot seat tonight.
Yeah.
Very capable hands, obviously.
Obviously.
Now, I would imagine one of your favorite parts of being a barber is probably seeing that before and after confidence level of your clients.
Everybody loves the before and after, especially on TikTok, Instagram. They love to see someone start off from looking homeless, so they say, and come back into looking like confidence. Exactly.
So can you talk us through some of what you're doing?
So here today we have a taper fade, or some people call it a tempo fade. And the goal here is to give him a transitional cut from a higher length into a lower length, while also retaining as much hair as possible on top. We typically see this with younger clients, especially because, you know, nobody wants to have that schoolboy look anymore. That's so retro now. So the goal is to give them a great quality cut, something that can last long, but also they can style in their own individual way.
Amazing.
That's incredible.
Now, when it comes to becoming a barber, I know you say you've been doing this since 8th grade, but how long, if there was someone who's sitting at home thinking this is something they want to do, what's the training part of it like? How long did that take for you?
So the training, it typically starts off with yourself. You do have BTVI that you can attend and go to, and there are scholarship programs for those who have their BGCSEs. You can basically go there for free. So I recommend that you start off there, but it also starts off with the passion. You're reading, watching videos, and also wanting to know more about the craft day by day. So I would say for anyone interested in starting to learn barbering or cosmetology on the whole, the goal is to just learn at home. Start with your family, your friends, your cousins, your nephews.
I was going to say, I'm sure part of that is trying to find willing volunteers. How difficult was it in 8th grade to be like, hey,
let me cut your hair.
I want to learn how to cut hair.
It was tough, especially with a squeaky voice, you know. Hey, can I cut your hair?
You trust me, right?
Yeah, so the number one thing is if they believe in you. So the number one thing about being a barber or any type of entrepreneurship, period, is that you are the brand. So people want to invest in you. They want to invest in your craft. So the goal is to actually market yourself, and if you believe in you, obviously they'll believe in your skills.
Half the battle. Amazing.
Yes. Wise words. This is a very competitive market, obviously. How do you stay ahead of the curve in terms of competition?
The number one thing is technology, knowing your clippers, knowing what's revolutionary inside the field. There's also always new clippers coming out every day, new equipment. And the number one thing is to stay educated. There's always a better way to do the service that you're doing currently. So the number one goal is to ensure that you're giving someone something that is new, something that is vibrant, something that hasn't been seen as yet, because we know Bahamians love new things.
For sure. Now, I have a question, because I know, when we go to the nail salon or we go to the hair salon, there's a lot of chatter, there's a lot of life updates, sometimes a little bit of gossip. Is it the same as a barber? Do you know everybody's secrets as a barber?
Now, as you know,
inside secrets coming out.
What happens in the barber shop
stays in
the barber shop.
But what I'm hearing is it is happening.
Definitely.
Okay.
Just a little bit of tea. Just a little bit of tea.
Very special. Yeah, very special. World Barber Day celebrated with a haircut live on Access Now. You're doing an excellent job, Derek, and we're seeing this haircut take shape in real time. It's incredible.
For sure. It's been so wonderful having you with us as well.
Thank you.
We should check in with you later on this, and we want to make this an annual thing.
Hey.
Maybe you can volunteer next time. You think you'd be up to that?
Based on what I'm seeing now,
you trust him, right?
I'm fully trusting. Although I think my barber might. I got to check barber etiquette and switching barbers, right?
That's true.
But I'm in capable hands, so I feel like I take the chance.
You don't want to be cheating on it.
In total agreement.
So let's meet up this same time next year. It's been a blast. Thank you for coming on, and thanks to the model Christian as well for taking part. Let's see what's on Total Sports and see what's on tap.
Barber Johnson competing in the women's 400-meter semifinals over in Tokyo. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
I'm Desmond Saunders. I want you to tune in to the new weekend edition, Saturdays and Sundays at 7 p.m., where we have a whole lot of new stuff for you. All right, so I'll give you a sneak preview. Boldly Bahamians, Sizzle Saturdays, Parliamentary Bench, just to name a few. So buckle up and get ready for the ride. Coming this fall, the new weekend edition. Stay close. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome to your Tuesday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. One Bahamian in action today, the World Athletics Championships over in Tokyo, Japan. Barber Johnson competing in the semifinals of the women's 400 meters, fresh off running a new lifetime best in her opening heat. Johnson attempting to get into the final, but her time of 50.91 seconds was good enough for just 6th place in the second of 3 heats. The top 3 finishers in the 3 heats combined, and the next 2 fastest losers advanced to the final. Johnson ended up at number 17 in the world. Salwar Ed Nazar of Bahrain won the heat in 49.47 with the 4th fastest qualifying time. Now, with the quarters done for the Bahamas, the action shifts to the 200 meters, where the 242 will have a representative on both the men's and women's side. For the ladies, former world double junior champion Anthony Strawn will compete in Heat 4 alongside Great Britain's Darryl Nita. And on the men's side, Ian Kerr perhaps being drawn in the toughest men's heat that will feature 3-time world champion Noah Lyles and former Olympic champion in the event Andre DeGrasse. We'll give you those results as they become available. And that's going to get your sports on this Tuesday. I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out until tomorrow.
Get this straight to our new sales and marketing office, Centerville House, 5th floor, ASAP.
New sales and marketing office, Centerville House, 5th floor, quick.
New sales and marketing office in Centerville House, 2nd Terrace West, 5th floor, on my way.
New sales and marketing office, Centerville House, 2nd Terrace West, 5th floor.
You could have caught a ride with me. We're only a block away from ZNS.
ZNS Sales and Marketing has moved to the 5th floor, Centerville House, 2nd Terrace West. For more information, call 502-3800.
Welcome back. This shot never gets old. Here's a shot of the lighthouse located at the tip of Paradise Island. This shot comes to you courtesy of our drone pilot, Kyson Miller. And to put a little history to it, construction of the lighthouse commenced in 1817 when the Bahamas was under British rule. And guess what? Not only is this historic lighthouse the oldest lighthouse in the country, it's the oldest surviving lighthouse in the West Indies, making it a significant maritime landmark. Today, we're taking a trip down to Abaco. Let's go.
H.G. Christie Limited, the Bahamas' oldest and largest real estate firm, isn't just building homes, it's building community. From regattas to open water swims, H.G. Christie has long believed in the power of sports to unite and inspire. Its newest partnership, the Abaco branch of Alpha Aquatics, just 2 years young, training out of Long Bay School Pool, this team is already making waves, reaching nationals, even bringing home medals. With H.G. Christie's support, these swimmers aren't just chasing times, they're also chasing dreams. Marlena?
Definitely some good news for Abaco Sports. Thanks, Royston. Well, most of you know the name Tamar Braxton. Well, what's your facial expression when you hear her songs? You know what? Let me leave it to the social media guru. Here's Matea Cunningham, and let's talk socials.
Hi, everyone. I'm Matea, and you already know what time it is. Let's get into it. Now, do we have any Tamar Braxton fans in the building? If so, you may be familiar with her song, All the Way Home. Well, it's trending. So much so that one particular creator has become associated with the sound, her name being Tiara. Tiara makes videos using the track to convey her reactions to certain situations. For example, do you remember when you were younger and you went into the grocery store with your mom or dad? They always gave us that look that said a million words. Specifically, don't knock up in these people's store. It's kind of like that. Check these clips out. I can't help but laugh at these because they are so real. Do you have one of those faces that can't hide how you feel? Well, that's Tiara. She wears her emotions right on her face. Now, we can't always get away with that depending on the time and place, but it's hilarious to watch her act out how we sometimes feel in real-world scenarios. Comment down below if you've seen one of her videos and found it funny. We'll pick things back up tomorrow, but for now, I'm still Matea Cunningham.
Thanks so much, Matea. We're checking back in with Derek Young, of course.
Everything's
finishing
looking
up the
amazing.
enhancements.
Yes.
Final touches.
How do you feel?
Christian?
How do you feel? Are you feeling good? Definitely very relaxed.
Very relaxed indeed. It's looking great. Thanks again for joining us, Derek. It looks fantastic.
Awesome, no problem.
That's going to do it for Access Now for tonight. Make sure to join us tomorrow night when we're making sushi. So sushi's the order of the day. And in that case, stay tuned.
You know I'm very excited about tomorrow. But for tonight, stay tuned for the Rundown with Clint Watson. Tonight's feature is the political roundtable, so there's lots of excitement there. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
What's Trending is turning 1, and we want to hear from you, our amazing viewers. In a short phrase, tell us what you love about What's Trending. Just grab your phone, turn it sideways, and record a quick 15-second video. Then WhatsApp your clip to 422-6827 for a chance to be featured on the show. Let's celebrate 1 year of trending moments together. And guess what? Our friends at Commonwealth Brewery heard we're turning 1 and they're joining the party. A lucky winner will receive a gift basket of goodies from 700 Wines and Spirits just for sending in a video. So get filming, get festive, and let's keep What's Trending trending. We can't wait to hear from you.
Hurry! The promotion ends September 30th.
The DRM Authority 2025 Official Hurricane Shelter List. Abaco Central District, Central Abaco Primary School, Marsh Harbor, Friendship Tabernacle, Dundas Town, Guanakee Primary School, Guanakee, Manawar Primary School, Manawar, Hope Town Primary School, Hope Town, Abaco Northern District, Amy Roberts Primary School, Green Turtle Key, Faith Walk Church of God Community Center, Cooperstown, Grand Key All-Age School, Preschool Block, Grand Key, Abaco Southern District, Crossing Rocks Primary School, Crossing Rocks, Moores Island School, Moores Island, and Soul Seeking Ministries, Moores Island. And that was the list of the 2025 official hurricane shelter list of the DRM Authority.
Get this straight to our new sales and marketing office, Centerville House, 5th floor, ASAP.
New sales and marketing office, Centerville House, 5th floor, quick.
New sales and marketing office in Centerville House, 2nd Terrace West, 5th floor. On my way.
New sales and marketing office, Centerville House, 2nd Terrace West, 5th floor.
You could have caught a ride with me. We're only a block away from ZNS.
ZNS Sales and Marketing has moved to the 5th floor, Centerville House, 2nd Terrace West. For more information, call 502-3800.
Are you ready for the hardest sports show on the market? It's called The Timeout, Sundays on the ZNS Television Network. In our first show, 4 decades of sports in the country.
Influenza, or the flu as it is commonly called, is a viral illness that usually occurs between the months October to March. The virus is transmitted from person to person through coughing, sneezing, or talking. Symptoms include fever, cough, headache, runny nose, generalized body aches, and fatigue. There is no specific treatment for the flu, and the symptoms usually dissipate after 3 to 7 days. Because it is caused by a virus, antibiotics are not used to treat the flu. Persons are encouraged to rest and drink lots of fluids. Panadol is recommended for fever and body aches associated with the flu. However, aspirin should be avoided due to the risk of bleeding. To decrease the spread of flu, persons are encouraged to get their flu shot annually and practice good cough hygiene. Additional information can be provided by your community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
The DRM Authority 2025 Official Hurricane Shelter List. New Providence Community Center, Blake Road. Samuel and Cornelia Williams Community Center, the Salvation Army, Meadow Street. Reverend Dr. O.A. Pratt Educational Building, St. John's Native Baptist Church, Augusta and Meeting Street. The Remnant Tabernacle Praise reserved for Aftermath, Carmichael Road. Epworth Hall Ebenezer Methodist Church for use by homeless and persons with physical disabilities, Shirley Street. St. Barnabas Church, Wolf and Blue Hill Roads. Maranatha Seventh-day Adventist Church, Prince Charles Drive. The Salvation Army, Mackey Street. Pilgrim Baptist Temple, St. James Street. New Bethlehem Baptist Church, Independence Drive. Hillview Seventh-day Adventist Church, Tony Williams Darling Highway. Agape Full Gospel Baptist Church, Kennedy Subdivision. New Dimension Ministries, Joe Farrington Road. Church of God Convention Center, Joe Farrington Road. Berea Seventh-day, Blue Hill Road South. Canon Neil E. Roach Hall, Holy Cross Anglican Church, Highbury Park. Ebenezer Mission Baptist, Charles Vincent Street. St. Mary's Hall, Fox Hill on top of the hill. Epiphany Anglican Church, Prince Charles Drive.
I have been coming to this island since I was 12 years old. It didn't take me long to realize the rich history it has here. When I bought this island in 2018, I fulfilled a lifelong dream. The goal is not only to preserve the memories I made over those years, but to make new ones and to give others the opportunity to do the same. As we go through this process, it has become clear to me. We aren't just rebuilding an island, we're reviving a legend.
Strong family bonds provide a crucial support system, often filling the gaps that might otherwise lead to reliance on social assistance.
If we get the family structure support system right, you won't see adult children willingly putting their parents in senior citizens' homes. You won't see anyone putting children up for adoption. We should be the safety net for when the family begins to have some challenges.
Addressing the root causes of dependency is essential, as our goal is to shift the focus from merely providing aid to fostering self-reliance.
We must be prepared to move persons from dependency to self-sufficiency to economic empowerment. And I'm asking the public to join us on this journey.
This has been the Heartbeat Brief, an inside look at the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of cancer deaths in the Bahamas and in Bahamian women. At present, we are unable to prevent breast cancer, but performing screening mammograms can detect breast cancer at its earliest when there are no symptoms and when it is more likely to be treated successfully. All women should have a primary health care provider who is aware of their medical history, family history, and risk factors. Women 40 to 45 years can choose whether to start screening in consultation with their physician. All women 45 to 54 years should have an annual mammogram. Women older than 55 years can have a yearly mammogram or choose to have one every 2 years. Monthly breast self-exams in conjunction with the mammogram can increase the odds of early detection. Be proactive about your health.
At Fort Montague, I'm Opal Roach. This is ZNS.
The Rundown is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show. It's great to have you with us tonight. It's going to be an exciting night, and we're definitely happy to have you along for the ride. Well, the Davis administration marking a major milestone today, celebrating its 4th year in office. It all began when the Progressive Liberal Party clinched victory in the general elections back on September 16, 2021. The party won 32 of the 39 seats in the House of Assembly, beating out the Free National Movement to win the government. Fern Carey tonight takes this trip down memory lane.
The governing Progressive Liberal Party marking its 4th anniversary this Tuesday since being elected to office in a landslide victory back in 2021. Reflecting on the government's progress over the past 4 years, the nation's chief Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, cited a revitalized tourism industry, investments in land to provide affordable homes for Bahamians, and achievements in the labor market with more than 50 labor agreements signed. Prime Minister Davis also highlighted major investments in healthcare and initiatives focused on empowering young people countrywide, among others.
Every young person given the skills and guidance to support productive choices, not tragic ones. More than 500 young Bahamians trained in our country's first National Service Corps, the National Youth Guard. A tourism industry revitalized with new opportunities for Bahamian entrepreneurs. The country's first nationwide apprenticeship program. Major sporting events held here at home, once again, and record support for our athletes. Renovations to 52 clinics, 2 new hospitals, and our investment in labs and diagnostics and emergency vehicles for our family islands, all in motion.
The nation's leader also detailed the measures to strengthen the country's agriculture sector, ongoing energy reforms, and new legal protections for the country's marine resources, including Bahamian artists and artisans. He acknowledged, however, that there is still more work to be done as the PLP looks ahead to general elections next year. Meantime, PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell said tackling the high cost of living continues to top the government's agenda.
The government is trying to tackle that problem. Most latterly, of course, was the issue of reducing VAT on certain items to try and control prices. So we're generally pleased, and we're looking forward to seeking from the Bahamian public a reaffirmation of our term within the next year. Because the work is not complete.
Mr. Mitchell also assured that long-term issues like crime and supporting the country's aging population remain a priority.
We have to get a grip on the crime issue, which is, our belief is in social intervention. And the social intervention programs take a while to kick in. So we've started them.
Mr. Mitchell pointed to the PLP's record, noting that the party will continue to do all it can to support and empower Bahamians. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
So the governing party may be giving its own assessment, but what's the word on the street? Well, our Danielle Dean canvassed the views of everyday Bahamians.
4 years since the PLP won in a landslide victory, capturing 32 of 39 seats. Voters are sharing their views on the party's impact to date. Executive Director of the Organization for Responsible Governance, Matt Aubrey, acknowledges ways the government has helped the country to move in a positive direction.
As we look at, say, the 4th year of this government, we've observed some positive economic developments, particularly in the post-COVID recovery period. We saw signs of some fiscal consolidation and the initial reductions on the national debt, and that's critical. We've also seen some important pieces of legislation that have been put in place.
But he added, ORG is of the opinion that more structures need to be put in place to strengthen the relationship between citizens and government. For example, regularized opportunities for public consultation.
We're coming upon an election. And one of the fundamental challenges we saw in the last election is we saw a drop from those historic, very high numbers of the Bahamas electorate coming out. We went from the last election being in the high 80s down to the mid-60s. And that reflects a lot of things. Post-COVID environment, different process in the registry, a snap election, but it also talks about the fact that there is this growing lack of trust in institutions.
The next general election's just months away. We spoke to some residents who will be heading back to the polls.
That depends on who they send in my area.
Yes, I am.
I always vote every election. It's important. The trajectory of the country depends heavily on me, on my contribution.
I must admit, our Prime Minister is trying to do his best.
However, Delano Johnson sees this as one issue yet to be addressed effectively.
Our roads, every time it rains, is like a Russian roulette riding to the water and stuff like that.
And Vince McDonald credits the government with catering to marginalized communities.
There's nobody has turned to the poor, to the underprivileged, the less fortunate than the PLP and under Brave Davis. Nobody else, no other government I've seen. They have been more conscientious of high cost of food, high cost of gas, high cost of energy.
While some are singing the government's praises, others say there are matters that can be better handled as they prepare for yet another general election countdown. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Well, tonight is all about politics as a political roundtable is back. And from what I understand, they're ready to get down to business, discussing some of the stories of national interest. Now, we'll discuss tonight, of course, the Progressive Liberal Party's 4th year in office and get that grade and assessment from our representatives. Education reform, we're going to talk about that. We also have a proposal for a new minimum wage, their thoughts on that. And I'm sure whatever the topics we're able to get in here in the few minutes that we have. So, that's your cue to stay tuned. We're going to get this discussion started, and you'll meet my panelists right after the break. You're watching The Rundown here on the ZNS Network. There's more after this. Stay close.
As we continue to develop the orange economy of the Bahamas and empower our artists and artisans, we as a government intend to show tangible support. We are therefore requesting our Bahamian artists and artisans to submit images of their handmade, authentically made Bahamian products and prices as we move to produce a live digital booklet with Bahamian-made works. With the creation of a live booklet, artisans can always submit new works to be included. It is our intent to use this book as a catalog for the purchase of items by all senior government officials for gifts, display items, and the like. Ministers, permanent secretaries, members of parliament, and ambassadors will be supporting our orange economy by the purchase of items and in sharing this book to the wider global creative community. We are committed to grow and expand the orange economy of the Bahamas.
There are over 3 million shipwrecks on the ocean floor, just waiting to be found. Nothing is truly ever lost at sea, only hidden by time and sand. When I put this fleet together, it wasn't just for fun. And although we do have fun, we never lose sight of our goal. Right here, right now, we are on a mission.
Make your company representative stand out through an embroidery design on your uniforms from Janae's Uniform Center, Chesapeake Road. Janae's utilizes the latest state-of-the-art embroidery technology to monogram large and small quantities of shirts, caps, bags, and other articles. If you don't already have a digitized logo, Janae's can design and digitize your idea and bring it to life. Then install the logo of your choice from their large selections of 27 stock colors of golf shirts in cotton or dry fit, caps, or workwear. Call 394-8385 or 6 or visit www.janaes.com.
Welcome back to The Rundown. A special good night to all of you who are joining us. I see those of you who are here in the Lion's Den, those of you watching on your various platforms, Flow TV or on YouTube around the country, and of course in the Turks and Caicos Islands and around the region, or if you're watching us internationally. It's always good to have you with us here on The Rundown. Well, even though the Prime Minister has yet to officially announce the official date of the 2026 general elections, Bahamians are closely watching the actions of the governing Progressive Liberal Party and opposition Free National Movement, as well as other parties as well. People's Constitution Party. Campaign mode should begin in a matter of months, and the party's political moves will determine who Bahamians will vote for at the end of the day. Our political roundtable features a representative from several political parties. Returning to the set, of course, tonight is Kyle Dean from the Progressive Liberal Party, Free National Movement Vice Chairman, Denari Roll, the Coalition of Independents Deputy Leader, Dr. Veronica MacGyver, and Servant Leader, the Bahamas Constitution Party, Ali McIntosh. It's good to have all of you back. It's been a while since we were back at this table, eh? Yes. Good to have all of you back. Yes. Yeah. So obviously, let's start with, today is the anniversary, the 4th year anniversary of the government in office. What say you? Grade them. 4 years in office.
Well, what I would like to say is not only...
You to go first.
What, if I may.
Yes, please.
Not only what they have done, but what they should have done.
Okay.
Of course, the PLP was elected to office on a minimal in terms of the amount of people voting, and so they come to office with a lot. There's something that I'm concerned about, that when we're doing things and the programs that are enacted in the country, country, that other people who have contributed to those programs and those ideas should be given credit. I have a problem with that, first off. Being a mentor, I believe that that should be that this administration, when they're talking about doing this and doing that, that they should say, Mr. Clint Watson contributed to that, or whoever, because I was at a function and a lady was sitting by me and I just asked her a question based on what was talking, and I said, you brought up this program. She said, well, I don't want to talk about it. Yes.
Right.
So when we have a nation where people are contributing and we are not giving them credit, we're going to get to a point where we have a lot of sour bellies over that. And I do believe that the government must look into dealing with marginalized people's copyright issues, also make sure that people's mental health do not suffer because they feel disenfranchised, demoralized in the country. And those are concerns that the BCP is concerned about, because last night in the meeting we talked about Freeport. We was on the line with Freeport and a lot of issues in Freeport, banks taking advantage of people, taking their homes. What is the government doing to make sure that does not happen? Mental health issues, people are on the street because they've lost their homes and now they're begging. You know what it is to work for 25 years and then come to the a point where you are deposed of your home and the government is not doing anything. And finally, the justice system in this country can be better managed by this government. I think this government is not doing what it's supposed to do. In fact, I think it's micromanaging the justice system, and we need better management of justice in this country if we are going to have people happy to be here and to say, well, you know, the PLP should have another term. I say no.
All right. Dr. Mugabe, your take.
Yes. Well, listen, first of all, we have everybody knows we have an immigration crisis, cost of living crisis, health crisis, and so I don't see how anyone in their right mind could give this government another term. Now, I have in front of me, I bought with me, a piece of paper here, with, it's about 29 pages long, and it have top 100 scandals and controversies of the PLP. There's no way we can go over all of them. 100? 100, and it was more. We were able to write down 100. Now, let me just quickly, for the sake of time, the first one that I'm concerned about is the U.S. drug smuggling case and the indictment. That hammer is going to come down on the government very soon before the next general election. And that $2 million bribe that was allegedly done by a high-ranking Bahamian politician is going to have to answer that, and the government. The second one is they repealed the Sovereign Wealth Fund. Bahamians were not too happy about that in December 2022 while we were having our turkey and ham. That was wrong what they did. And they stepped backwards on transparency. The third one was the Grand Lucayan sale. That's going to come back to bite them because we know that that's their second attempt and they're now failing at that second attempt.
Why do you say it's failing?
It's failing because they cannot say that they got the 120 million as yet. And then, of course, you know, one of my points further down is that the Grand Bahama Airport is now failing. I understand that in 2021, they had talked about it. They signed a contract in 2022 for the Grand Bahama Airport. Now, the person who signed that contract with them is now reneging on that and pulling back. What is wrong with this PLP government that they can't follow through? They have a lot of shovels in the ground, but if you've noticed Bahamians, they have not been able to have things come out of the ground. And that is the problem I'm having with this government. For the sake of time, I'll go fast. 4, FTX was a controversy. Even though the PLP was not technically involved in the bribery, it is a stain on the Bahamas because the Bahamas was placed under scrutiny during that time. And the PLP had invited him in and set up everything for it. Number 5, there was a road scandal, the road scandal in Eleuthera. I remember they started out with $90 million for that road contract. It escalated to $160 million for 110 miles of road. Today, they've only done about 3 miles of that road. And we have a problem because during the procurement exercise of granting that contract, there were lots of questions and controversies of how did that person get that contract? It was not put to proper bidding. So this government have a lot to answer, and that is why the people are going to give them a failing grade. Number 6, accident and emergency is still incomplete. It started under the FNM. It is still incomplete under the PLP. What is going on with these two parties? Now, 7, the frequent foreign trips is one thing that Brave Davis has gotten a lot of flack for, and that is traveling all over the world. I am not against travel, because when I become the Deputy Prime Minister, I will have to travel as well. However, I think some accountability is necessary. You have to tell people what you spend and what did you benefit when you went on that trip. Let the people know, did you benefit? Or if it's not now, perhaps it'll be in a month or 2 months or next year. They did not do that. Signaling the shady contract deal with BPL is also going to come back to bite the PLP. That we believe it was a shady deal. We believe it was friends, lovers, and cronies involved in that. But again, the government is going to lose public trust with the Bahamian people because they're not transparent. That is part of their problem. They're never transparent with the Bahamian people. And last, I just want to say, they started to tax medicines and health care, and also they put taxes on our health insurance premiums. Bahamians are not going to forget that, because you have to have a healthy nation. And when people cannot even go out, buy food and stuff, and then you still cannot go out and get your medicines, listen, the PLP, I'm giving them a failing grade. I don't know personally how they're going to survive such low achievement. As a matter of fact, I think the Guardian, I think had a article, I didn't have a chance to read it, but I think I remember saying low achievement.
Right.
And I agree with that, because with shovels in the ground, they can't even have anything come out of the ground. Tell me one building that they've built. They've renovated 1 or 2, but they've not built something from foundation to the roof to everything. They've not.
All right. I'm going to let Denario go. Right before he does, I want to, because they sent a statement out this evening. I thought it was interesting since you mentioned it, about Grand Bahama Airport.
Yes.
And the statement says the redevelopment of Grand Bahama International Airport remains a central priority for this administration and is key to the island's economic revival. We are in the final stages of securing funding and concluding agreements on airport management. These steps will allow construction to proceed and ensure the delivery of a modern world-class facility. Manchester Airport Group, the UK's largest airport management group, continues to work with us as a key partner in shaping the airport's development and management. Their role has not been and will not be to provide funding. Alongside the Bahamian Consortium of Contractors, they are part of the team that will deliver this project for the people of Grand Bahama. We will make a further statement on the funding partner in short order. Our focus is on results. Grand Bahama will have the airport it needs to grow, attract investment, and strengthen its role as a gateway to the Bahamas. So I thought that was an interesting that you mentioned.
But their 4 years, they've already done 4 of the 5 years. And if they haven't done it yet from 21, I say they're failing.
All right, Denario.
Thank you, Ron. Good evening, Bahamas. Good evening to my guests again. From the onset, I just want to say that the FNM has ratified 24 candidates. We're going to be fresh, innovative leaders to the forefront, free from political baggage, and a lot of people who are already proven in their perspective fields that we want to have. So once we are successful, I want to say that we'll be ready to govern from day one, because I know a lot of people is watching the opposition now. We actually applaud them. That's what we encourage the Bahamian people to do. Remember that leaders work for you, and that's what we are bringing. So we encourage them to continue to hold our feet to the fire. We are going to be a different government that works on behalf of the Bahamian people, and that is our mandate. But we are here to talk about this current progressive Liberal Party administration of the government, one would say, and I have to agree with most of what Dr. McIver would have stated in regards to just the list of ongoing standards. And me too, I wanted to visualize it. I did my research, and I just want to say from the onset, I give the PFP an F. F for failure. Everybody.
You give them an F.
I give them an F.
It just failed.
They failed. They did nothing good. Yes. One thing they're good at is pump and pageantry. You read a good statement. They talk this good talk, fluff, 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 all around. But Bahamian peoples, we are beyond the fluff now. Like you say, when we come to this show, we want to present the facts. We want to say what happened in real time and what the Bahamian people feel. I want to start off from their first term in office.
The first year.
The first year, sorry. First year in office, PLP Bermuda Gate. Used the Bahamian people money. If they didn't get catch, say they was going to pay it back. Now, this check says but they published in the newspaper, in the Tribune in 2022, it says they sent 24,000 somewhat back. Our records indicated it was 60,000 or so, so we're still trying to figure out was everything paid back or not. However, that's what the PLP do.
And for people who don't understand what you're talking about the trip to Bermuda.
Yes,
the trip that came up where they took a private plane of persons there for one of the parties there.
Yes, one of the political parties there event. We didn't know. They used the taxpayers' fund, and if they didn't get catch with their hand in the cookie jar, we don't know if they're going to pay back. But like I said, there was a check produced, and so we're still waiting. We don't know the full cost and the details, but they did say they paid something back. And then we have a government, God rest his soul, the Honorable Obi Wishcombe passed away, but this government defense, and they actually reallocated money from the Disabled Commission again. The Tribune headline in February of 2024, they took $25,000 from the Disabled Commission to have a memorial for one of their members. I don't know how egregious that can be. And then you have the Office of Prime Minister and this article doubling down on the fact that the $25,000 was for the commission to do the job. It wasn't for disabled people, so that's why it's okay to move the money. Utter nonsense. Then you have the Deputy Prime Minister in the House of Assembly. $10 million. $10 million to cover bad press against the country. Come on. We have way more things. We have, how much ambulances functioning. Our family islands need development and healthcare facilities. We just saw a lady drive on the back of a vehicle truck where we have ambulances on the island that was donated by a private donor. But it is alleged that the ministry said the ambulance can't function, but we get $10 million to spend on bad press. $58 million on travel since 2021. This is the research. These are things that are public. This is what this government is doing. $58 million since 2021 they have spent to travel around the world. Luxury, friends, family, lovers, living the good life. While us here, Bahamian people, we suffering every day. This is the reality, and guess what? There we go again, they double down. The PM Defense is spending on traveling. I have to travel. Yes, you have to travel. We understand that. But what is the resources? What do we get from all this traveling that you're doing? You said that it brings us good partnerships or networking. But what are the results? Did we get any reports? Did we get any tangible updates? Did anybody say, hey, I've done this for the Bahamas. This is what I've done through my partnerships? But no, he defends his travel. Then we have $220 million spent on consultants. So we have a government that spent $220 million on consultants, Bahamian people. And again, the article is right here. It's the deputy leader, they slammed the government in January 2025. Almost $220 million we spent it on consultants. How do we feel it in our pockets, Bahamian people? And now, the state of parks in this country, beaches and parks, overrun by $7 million. But as we can see, the ongoing series right now, if not all, majority of our parks in the state of an operation or not functioning. But we overspent by $7 million. The chairman of the beaches and parks have yet to address the issue. Everybody going to idly buy like this is not something in real time. But yet we're in election season, and then this is going to be the same government coming back to us to ask us, can we have your support? And then the biggest issue we face in this country right now is a crime crisis. But the reality is, our Prime Minister says, and I quote, we are not in an immigration crisis. So when you have the Prime Minister of the country don't feel like there's a problem, then obviously there's nothing he's going to do to address the problem. And again, I stated before, he's on record in that community saying, you are me, I am you. Let's be together now. I mean, we have to separate for now so that we can be together later. And in my view, that's why we are suffering or seeing the results that we face today. And my last thing that I brought up, because I really want to question this one. The government sells 130 crown land of acres for $18 million egg venture in Andres. They sell our crown land. But when they came into office, again, good at groundbreaking, good at PI when the camera zoom into this. $15 million we spent. Shovels in the ground.
Shovels in the ground.
Shovels in the ground. $15 million investment was spent for the Bahamas agriculture to spearhead. This is the ceremony. But now we selling our crown land. So we invest $15 million in a project. Exactly. To develop a scheme that would allow us to export. And the article tells you, everything that the $15 million was supposed to do. Let me just read it very quickly. It says, the $15 million project aims to increase local egg production, and it also tells how the $500,000 in grants will be allocated to farmers, $1 million in funding, and how the people will be working in the different islands to create 90 jobs across the family islands. But here it is now, we selling our crown land for $80 million venture after you already invest $15 million that was supposed to set up this whole project. So what is the selling of the crown land about? Who is that company? Because the article states that we looked, they said they searched, they found a website that says Blue Hole Farms, and that's it. nothing else that can tell you about who's Blue Hole Farms. And when they try to contact the Ministry of the Press, time is unavailable. So again, after me is failure, because the reality is this government is good at talking, it is good at breaking ground, but they are absolutely doing nothing, and they are playing in the face of the Bahamian people.
Yeah. All right, there you have it. And it just leaves to you, Kyle. I'm just sitting here. How are you going? What are you going to say now?
Well, you know, Clint, good night to you, guests. And, you know, no government is perfect. And one thing the Prime Minister is open to is public feedback. Our Prime Minister believes in democracy. He believes in feeling out the temperature of the public to see if the nation, you know, is for a certain thing or not. And that's what the government does. Government goes to the people to see if a trajectory is the way they want to go. I'm not going to get into defending, because they said a lot. A lot of it may not be true. A lot of it may be opinions. But I just want to focus on the common denominator that your guests were saying. The government did nothing. Brother Clint, I think that is a fallacy. I think it should not have been said. When we came to office, right, the country was on a fiscal cliff. Debt to GDP was 150%, right? We project now debt to GDP to be in the next few years down to 50%, right? So we've gone from 150, so we decrease it by about 100%. When we came to office, the last administration borrowed $1.2 billion. They pontificate about Dorian and COVID, but spend less than $600 million facilitating Dorian and COVID. So they borrowed a lot of money. They traveled. They defended their travels. I don't know why his leader and his chairman is on record defending their government travel, and people question the increase with no results. And so, Clint, when we came to office, there was not one house built, not one subdivision developed. Government has built and put families in many homes. Social programs have been dismantled. We see the resurgence of the urban renewal program. We see the resurgence now of Grand Bahama. Under the last administration, Grand Bahamians gave them 5 MPs, 2 senators, and a governor general. And Grand Bahamians suffered under the last administration, especially in Marco City. I've taken a trip down to Marco City, and it's in total disarray. Look at the breakfast program. The government did nothing, but we have managed to give out more than $1 million plates of food that goes beyond what the Free National Movement Canada believes, hot dogs and chips. We have given healthy breakfast to school children. and so, Clint, I can just go through it. We have raised minimum wage. This government has, the FNM had introduced minimum wage at $150, but never raised it. It was the PLP government that raised minimum wage every single time minimum wage was raised. Let's look at unions and the positions of unions and government workers. There's an increase in salary straight across the board for government workers. Under the last administration, unions could not get one meeting with their prime minister. Our prime minister has an open door policy for unions, which led to more than 55 union agreements being signed. That is historic in this country. We met the Bahamas on the EU's blacklist. With the work of the Attorney General, we have managed to remove the Bahamas from the European Union's blacklist. We have added over 2,000 young Bahamians to the public service. $600 million expansion at the Grand Bahama shipyard, which is yielding results and boosting Grand Bahama. No. Let me see how everybody had the world to see.
I had 2 minutes.
Spew their lies.
30 seconds.
Right? So let me talk. Let me talk. We have made major investments in crime. We see the Bahamas is faced with a gang problem, right? Where there's gang crime. It was the PLP government that was innovative enough to bring gang legislation to Parliament and passed it. So that means if you are investigated and you are found to be in a gang, you could be prosecuted. No longer will we wait on you to commit a crime before you get prosecuted. But once we could say, once the court is satisfied that you are affiliated with a gang, you're going to be prosecuted. So, Clint, I could go on and on about the accomplishments of the government. there's more work to be done. I do not feel within the depth of my soul that a failed candidates who sat in the former administration, who are they? Look at Darren Henfield, his operation in Abaco doing Doreen, could not go back there. That's who the FNM brought back. Look at the Honorable Marvin Dames, who left, who ride out in a wave of $17 million drone scandal. We still trying to figure out what these drones, where these drones are, how much they cost, and the FNM has yet to supply us with the information on these drones, but yet he's going to talk about the government, but you're going to run a candidate who left on a $17 million scandal? What you bring him back for another $17 million?
Academy.
We're gonna do rebuttals. I want to take a quick break because everybody's had some time with statements. I got to go to commercial break. When we come back, we'll continue our discussion. You're right here in the ZNS Network. Stay close.
And I want to be first.
Get this straight to our new sales and marketing office, Centerville House, 5th floor, ASAP.
New sales and marketing office, Centerville House, 5th floor, quick.
New sales and marketing office in Centerville House, 2nd Terrace West, 5th floor, on my way.
Sales and Marketing Office, Centerville House, 2nd Terrace West, 5th floor.
You could have caught a ride with me. We're only a block away from ZNS.
ZNS Sales and Marketing has moved to the 5th floor, Centerville House, 2nd Terrace West. For more information, call 502-3800.
Bang bing. Bing bang ding, ding ding bang, bang bang bang, ding bang ding, bing bang ding, ding ding bang, bang bang bang, ding bang ding, bing bang ding, bing bang ding, ding ding bang.
Welcome back to the rundown. I'm going to spend time introducing everybody all over again. They're people from various representation. We're talking about things that are concerning you. We were giving the government an assessment before the last break, and I want to jump into one of the points that was mentioned. That's minimum wage.
Yes.
I'll let you start talking about your concerns with that.
Yeah, the Bahamas Constitution Party has introduced, and if you go to our website, you will see our 50-year plan for the nation mandate.
50 years?
Well, the only way you can build a nation, you must be continuous in terms of the plan for development. So if you go on our website, you will be able to see mandate 2022 was put up from April 2022. We have not taken it down. We allow people to go on and see the ideas that we have for developing the nation. Regarding minimum wage, we throw out not a minimum, but a livable wage, which is $400. I know the unions yesterday decided that they would rather $350 be the minimum wage. We agree it should be upped. It should be hiked bigger than it was. $400, it is actually a shame and disgrace to pay an adult to work 40 hours a week and you give them $260. Right. So the PLP cannot actually brag about increasing minimum wage when people have to pay rent, when they have to medical insurance, they have to take care of their children to send them to school. And so we have to actually consider that if we increase it, what's the consequences, or what are some of the dynamics when it comes to businesses, which means we have to up all of our development, and that is very important.
You raised an important point, and I think this is where I think the challenge becomes tricky, right? Because I think we all would agree we ought to pay more, right? The cost of living is what it is, and nowadays, why work if when you get paid at the end of the day, you still can't do what you need to do to take care of your family? But on the flip side of that, will that give a knee-jerk reaction to our economy? Because I'm thinking about the businesses who now have these employees. Businesses are employing people. if they now have to pay that much more, $400 or $350, can a business literally afford to do that? And will that cause a business to close, go out of business, and will we now send our economy into a recession because people can no longer work? So while the minimum wage is higher, people are unemployed because they can't work. So I wonder whether that is a concern, and how do we balance that? And then people, I always get into it, and people have a problem with it. But yes, we have bills to pay. You have schools, mouths to feed. And that is why I think the responsibility bears on that adult to make wise decisions and to get employable skills so that you don't have to work in a job that pays you the minimum. But because of your skills, you can work and make a decent salary. Isn't that the onus that should be put on people and not, well, you got to help me, you know, the government got to do better than this. I have my children to feed, I have rent to pay. You have all these things, but at the end of the day, who's responsible for that?
If I do briefly, the point is we must re-engineer the economy. And when we're doing that, we must open up opportunities for small businesses to actually do something for themselves. When we put the stranglehold on small businesses, we tell them you can't help yourself. We don't want the government to have to pay all the minimum wage, but we want the economy to be generated, and the government must put the environment in place for the economy to grow, for people to do for themselves. We're not saying government, I'm a conservative, so I'm not on big government. I'm small government, but we must produce the environment for people to grow. And when we do that, it is going to increase. So once we are going up with the wages, we're going up with costs, but that everybody will then begin to go higher. The water flows up, every boat flows even higher.
Okay, listen, I hear what everybody is saying. I know people are thinking, wow, if you increase minimum wage, what's going to happen to the businesses and everything? Some of those things will have to be taken into consideration. But I am appealing to the Bahamian public. This is why our economic model is the incorrect economic model. And I brought the statistics to show you. In 2021, under Brave Davis, the GDP per capita was just around $31,000 per person. In 2025, it is now risen to $39,500 per capita. That's a big jump. So you know what that's telling the Bahamian people? Money is coming into the country. It's just not trickling down to us.
At the higher level.
And that is what needs...
Smaller percentage making the greatest.
Exactly. That is the problem we have here in this country. And let me tell you the poverty rate. In 2001, the poverty rate was 9.3%. In 2013, the poverty rate went to 12.5%. In 2017, the poverty rate went to 14.3%. They haven't given us any statistics after that. They're probably afraid. So what does that tell you? Over the span of the several administrations, the poverty rate is increasing. That tells you something is wrong with our economic model. COI plans to change the economic model. Right now, it's based on colonialism. We're living like in a neo-colonialism era, and where we have to, we're not against tourism. Don't get wrong with that. We're not against foreign direct investment. It's just that we must diversify the economy. We must talk about natural resources and bring in other factors into the game. But right now, the way it's going now, listen, the Bahamians are not able to buy food, transport, pay rent, and 260 is not going to do it, especially for single mothers with children. It's not. And so I implore everybody, I wrote this down, the working poor is actually employed but living without dignity. And we cannot have that in our country.
One thing I just want to add, not to be too long on this, obviously the discussion will have to continue. This is an ongoing process with successive governments to follow what's the benefit. Obviously the 260 is not livable, Bahamians need treating, that sort of stuff. But I just want to focus on, for me, it's all about the government's their anniversary. They brag about increasing the minimum wage, in which they did, which the FNM introduced, by the way. But you increase the minimum wage by $50, but you forget to say NIB went up, you put VAT on 0 rated items, 10%, and your biggest achievement, like Carl mentioned, oh, we feed 1 million people. Come on, man, for God's sake, as a government, you're creating a flyer, you're creating a video, and your biggest brownie point is feeding Bahamian children food. That's what you're celebrating, and these same items that were 0% rated, you put 10% on top of the Bahamian people. So now you're putting the struggle on families to be able to buy and can't afford breakfast. And then now you slap them in the face. Oh, I'm dropping you down to 5%. But it was at 0. And these seemed 0. The grits and the tuna and the sausage that you were serving our children was at 0 rated. Certain families at the time probably could afford it. But now they can't afford it because you put 10% on it, then you cut it down, you put 5% on it. And then let's talk about how you nearly double the cost of electricity with your 50% raise. Under 800 kilowatts was 10 cents under us. Now it's 17 cents under the PLP. When it was on the F&M over 800 kilowatts, it was 17 cents. Now it's almost like 21 or 22%. So they nearly doubled the cost of electricity in the 4 years you're talking about. And you want to brag about, I increased the minimum wage by $50. Again, this government is a government of pomp and pageantry. When it comes to the real things that the Bahamian people feel, I don't know what we're really living in, but I feel in it. And I believe in a government that works for you, and that's why I'm supporting the F&M. We are coming to work on behalf of the Bahamian people.
But Brother Clint, let me respond. I pray to God that now his next child, he name him Carl. I'm 100% sure he's going to be a dream about me.
Never.
But let me dispel this hogwash that he's talking. One of the things that I know you probably don't know because you don't follow is that a lot of y'all brag about the 0% VAT on breadbasket items, right? But y'all had all the unhealthy foods on the breadbasket items. So y'all brag about giving the marginalized people bad food to cram our hospitals and clog our healthcare. Let me tell you what this government did. Let me tell you what this government did. Let me tell you what this government did. And the name is Kyle, not Carl.
Carl, whatever you name.
Let me tell you what this government did. We expanded the breadbasket item list. We have cut customs duty on a myriad of food items, fruits, meats, vegetables. So they are 0% at the border. When they were 20%, when they were 30%, when they were 15%, they are now 0%. So under y'all, it was the 12% plus the customs duty. Let's talk math. So if the customs duty was 15% plus the 12, we all raised VAT too. How much is that? 37%.
I know you.
So y'all increased the cost.
I ain't got a PLP mask because your math is beyond.
We cut the duty at the border to 0, and we have decreased VAT. So your emotionalism ain't gonna work. Let me share this. Let me share this. Let me get back on topic. He can afford to go off topic because he has nothing to say about minimum wage. The F&M did not thought about increasing the minimum wage. When you compare Dion Folks, who was a Minister of Labor, to PA Global Role, there's no comparison. One thing the minister said is that the 260 is not enough and we are working towards a livable wage. She made that abundantly clear. One of the things that I want us to understand, like you said, when you now increase the minimum wage, you have to see how the economy responds to the increase. Will business lay off people? Will businesses still be able to hire? Because you don't want to make the minimum wage so high, so soon, to the point where it creates an economic shock. There's a layoff, and then you cause the Bahamas to go into recession. And then the opposition would have jumped up and say, CB, tell them it wasn't going to work.
Right.
So they are good at theatrics. One of the things that I want to assure the Bahamian people is that we have a good Minister of Labor. She has an open door policy. You could go out and you could talk to her. And one thing she says is that the minimum wage, they're looking at another increase because the Bahamas need to get on the trajectory of having a livable wage.
Right.
However, I want us to look at another point. Do we keep increasing the minimum wage and not encouraging people to get educated, to become marketable in their skills? One of the things that this present administration have done, they have expanded BTVI to the family of islands to get people to be able to become marketable so that they don't have to rely on minimum wage.
After the F&M made BTVI free.
So another thing that I want the Bahamian people to understand it is the PLP government that has all the successes in education. The BTVI, the COB, the UB, the expansion.
That's false news. I can't let them on. That's false news.
All of it is
when you look at education,
all of it
fact
is
check
under the PLP
fact check
administration.
Again, people. Fact check.
Go ahead.
I can't let them get away with saying that, because when you look at education, the F&M, the F&M action is way bigger, vastly different than the PLP. Most of the houses, most of the schools in Grand Bahama, most of the schools in Grand Bahama and Nassau. You spoke my turn. Most of the schools in Freeport, Grand Bahama, was established by the F&M. Most of the schools in New Providence were established by the F&M. It was the F&M that made UB and BTVI free under the last administration. It was the F&M that started the same breakfast program that they are gloating about under the last administration. But we don't have the boast and brag, because we understand that there are some fundamental issues and challenges that children need to enhance their learning. So you don't have to brag about that. And when you go to the track record of the schools across the length and breadth of the Bahamas, it was the F&M. Started under Ingram, and then Menace came in and he made free education at the UB and BTVI and the free preschool education, and he started the breakfast program. And when we get it, we're going to further now enhance the platform. Digital literacy will be the core center of our focus of the education system. We're going to look at the teachers' structure and salary structure to review them when we get in power. So we will continue on the trajectory of really empowering our children through education. So I can't let cars hit you and say it's the PLP that did education, because that is false.
Listen. I'm listening here. I'm between the red and the yellow, and they're going back and forth. And it just goes to show you this is what's been happening with the pendulum being swung back and forth. This is the problem we're having. And I just showed you the statistics that poverty is going up every cycle. So it's telling the Bahamian people that these two parties are not doing what they're supposed to do. That's why COI was born. That's why Veronica McIver, who was really not a politician, I have gotten into the race because I want to make a change and a difference in this country. And I am going to promise the Bahamian people that I will make a difference.
There's something,
I'm serious about that.
Sorry, there's something I want to say. We're talking all about food and what's happening, but I think someone has to look into the GMO foods that are being imported in this country. We know there are health crises back and forth. We're hearing that in West Grand Bahama, 1 in 5 person is on dialysis. Why is 1 in 5 persons on dialysis? How is they even managing dialysis, which is like 4 or 5 hours, to have that many people taking that in West Grand Bahama? We're talking about all the way from 8 Mile Round all the way. So we're not just talking one point. And then there's another matter in Grand Bahama that all of the banks, all of the attorneys in Grand Bahama is on retainer for all of the banks. So many people are losing their homes. We have a case that we're dealing with in Grand Bahama and many more cases because all attorneys are on the bankroll or the retainer of the banks. And even the justice system is not giving justice because their hands are tied. The banks who have all the money, who is deposing people of their houses, putting them on the street in Grand Bahama. We are talking about people walking around talking to themselves because they've lost their homes. They can't afford an apartment. And, another point.
Let's look at that. Why are they losing their homes? Why are the banks taking? Banks don't just take your home because they just choose you. There has to be a reason why a bank.
We have a situation in Grand Bahama where every single payment from the insurance company was paid to the bank regarding the home of a young lady who's now at 60, and still the bank has found a way to try to take her home. They have already given a writ of possession, and they have determined that they are going to put her out of her home. It is imminent. We talking about.
Is it because she's not paying the mortgage?
No, the mortgage was in her husband's, and we're going to say this because this is a dire situation. The mortgage was in the name of her husband. Her husband passed away. The insurance was paid to the bank from the insurance company. There was obviously a delay because of CLECO. You know how CLECO was delayed, that situation when they went into receivership. However, at this point, the bank has received all checks for the mortgage, and yet they're putting out, yet they have a writ of possession, and yet to this day, that woman is living in fear of her house being taken from her. The provost marshal has already been to her home to put her out of her home, and no attorney, no judge in Freeport is prepared to hear the case and give her justice. When is these governments, both the PLP and the FNM, because it's been going on for 14 years, when are they going to make sure that there is justice in Freeport? The people in Freeport are living in fear because of the many situations in which they have no justice.
I'm aware of that case she's talking about. It was very sad to read about that case. However,
sorry for being sad.
I'm always on the side of the people. However, I do believe that the lady, she did go in to restructure the loan after her husband had died, right? So the courts had ruled in favor of the bank. And I think what's happening is, this is what I found out. Banks follow the law. In our country, we follow the rule of law. The problem we're having here in the Bahamas is the banks are getting away with what I call predatory lending. And that is what needs to change. We have to change the laws of the land. So I believe that I know a little bit about that case, and I am very sorry to hear about that with the lady. But I think maybe out of compassion, somebody will come and help her. But that is part of the problem. The banks are following the law, but we need to amend the laws because it's taking advantage of the
banks hoodwink. Do you see when the bank, and she said, the predatory laws that the bank works with, if the bank would have a mortgage by a person and the person dies, at that point, the mortgage is to be paid by the insurance. Why would the bank insist on hoodwinking a widow and says, well, until that happens, we will give you another loan? Why do we need a loan?
In our country, because of so many of our banks in our country are part of regional banks, the people making the decisions don't even reside here, and all you are is a number on a paper. They don't know your situation, they can't bring compassion to your situation, and that is why I always say in this country, Bahamians are taken advantage of, because you know, you go into a bank and you meet somebody who's a Bahamian, and then they smile at you and they offer you stuff, but at the end of the day, they don't control the decision making.
But one thing
the person who does already either has a prejudice about your country, thinking that you have too much already, and that if you don't pay, then just take it away from them. That's the challenge you have in our country. And I think I always say that I believe consecutive governments has to be able to take a greater stand for its people when it comes to financial institutions. Because I think they're taking advantage of us, but yet you hear them declare profits every year, right? No matter how tight a year is, they somehow come out making a profit.
Yes, they always win. They always win. They always win. The bank always have doubled up themselves in terms of insurance. But what is interesting is that some of these banks, like Royal Bank and Scotia Bank, have said that they are no longer associated with the bank in the Bahamas. So how it is now that we are having these decisions come out, and now they're saying...
You call a credit card number, somebody answers in a different country.
So which means we need transparency, we need accountability, we need the rule of law to apply, and we need the government that sits in the chair to make sure that the people of the Bahamas is not taken advantage of by a foreign company, by a foreign bank, but make sure that people can live. Because one thing, I'll say this in closing, is that when you take homes from people like in Freeport, and the homes are just sitting there while the people are on the street, what kind of country are you trying to create? What kind of society, what kind of feeling do you want? People want to be happy in their country. They want to feel good. And all we're saying, the Bahamas Constitution Party, is we're looking at it from a different perspective. It can't be all about capital. It can't be all about money. It has to be about people. It has to be so that people are comfortable in their country.
Great. That's your 30-second closing remark. I'll let Dr. MacGyver give her closing remarks about the country that you want to see.
The country that I want to see are Bahamians first. That's the first thing. I want Bahamians to be first. I'm not prejudiced towards any other nationality, but I just want my people to be compassionate, loving. I want children to be educated. I just want a country that we can call a first world country. Right now, we're still considered third world, and I would like that to improve. And so that would be my dream.
Dinner.
I just want to say, once again, it's always a pleasure to be amongst your fine company and with our clean host. And just that the Bahamian people know, pay attention in election season, like I say, to the real issues that affect you, issues that really matter, and listen out to the leaders, those who want to represent you, what they represent, their track record, pay attention to what they've done. Don't mind the glitz and the glamour. And the FNM is coming to work for you. I think under the leadership of Michael Pinter and our deputy Shannon Dawn Cartwright, we're going to transcend politics of the norm. We got a lot of naysayers out there, but I believe this is going to be the best government the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is ever going to see once we are successful in 2026.
All right, thank you. And Kyle.
Hey, Clint, it's a pleasure to be here. I think I join with your guests. I want to see a prosperous country, a country where Bahamians can benefit, Bahamians can be first, a country where healthcare is strong, education is strong, and the people are strong. And going into this election season, I want to encourage every Bahamian. There are a lot of fake news out there. There are a lot of theatrics out there from oppositions. Seek out the facts, ask the right questions, and make sound decisions and judgment you get to the poll. And always remember, it's PLP all the way.
I think we all start on a common footing. I thought it was a voice I could have still thought it was a voice but I think we all on a great footing. We all want a better country.
Yes.
And then we may have different views to how we get there, but the bottom line is we all want to get there.
Yes.
And we got to keep fighting until we get there. Yes. And I think that's the reality. Thank you all for being here tonight. We got to cover education next week because we didn't get to education tonight. And some other stuff. We'll be sure to get to that next week. That does it for the rundown. Be sure to stay locked to the ZNS network for the Bahamas tonight at 11. It's the final newscast in the country with the latest information with Corville Piper himself. For all of us here at ZNS, I'm Clint Watson. Thanks so much for joining us. Good night, everyone.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
After 30 years of banking, I've decided to take a leap of faith. I moved from banking into an untapped industry, which is manufacturing in the Bahamas. And now we are standing on 3 acres of land on which we're going to be putting the Bahamas' first end-to-end plastic recycling company, Eden Recycling and Manufacturing Company Limited. Eden has 2 arms, recycling and manufacturing.
This is groundbreaking for us. It's never been done before. It really makes a difference, not only in the Bahamas, but even around the world. This is not just a project that we're doing so that we can make a couple of dollars. We want to make sure that it benefits those who come after us. In future generations, we hope that this is a small vision, that they will take it and they'd expand on it. We can have the formula for what it means to do end-to-end recycling in the Bahamas, in the region, and even if we have to export these ideas and thoughts and concepts even into the U.S.
During Little Caesars Carnival of Specialties, you're gonna want to try everything. Like wearing a Balloon Man costume?
Or turning into a tuba?
No! Like trying all the varieties from the Carnival of Specialties at a special price for a limited time, only at Little Caesars.
For just $13 VAT inclusive, get it now at Little Caesars, Oaksfield, Carmichael Road, East Street South, Charles Saunders Highway, and Prince Charles in the One East Plaza.
Pizza.
And Lyford Key, I'm Tanya Smith Cartwright. This is ZNS.